Good evening, everyone, and thank you all for being here. Oh no.
What?
Oh no.
What?
I thought I invited somebody on the show, but I did not realize that I mistakenly sent the link to McDizzy tonight.
No, you sent the link to Josh, but he's being a little bitch and is tired and needed to take a nap. So, I'm the fill-in. What's up, bitches?
Damn, McDizzy, where'd you get those shades? Those are pretty dope, man.
Yeah, they're customs. They're made for
Oh,
he took him off Macho Man Randy Savage's corpse.
Oh, yeah.
damn. Hell yeah. Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Max's Man Cave, episode 81. Tonight we have a very special one. I'm joined by my good friends, Josh, otherwise known as McDizzy. Well, Josh can't be here, so it's McDizzy tonight. We've got the ever famous Aaron Sparrow, and we have Dolan, aka Drew, with us. And tonight we are going to be going over who out of we'll probably introduce 4 individuals to y'all tonight. Who out of them is the biggest shill for corporate product TM, right? And so we're going to go over some videos. We're going to watch some of these. We're going to kind of debunk some of the things that they say and kind of analyze and criticize why it is that some of these people act the way that they do, and then criticize us for when we have some sort of, rebuttal against that. So it'll be a really fun night, and I'm very thankful for these guys to join me. We've got MG in the chat. Hail, brother. We've got Michael Salo. Great live stream last night, Josh and Max. Well, if Josh were here, he would say thank you.
I thought it was pretty gay, but sure.
And thank you, Michael. I appreciate it. We've got Cajun, we've got Jack, we've got Alex Verb, and we've got MG once again. Thank you guys for being here this evening. So let's get just right into our first video, because there are a couple different individuals that we want to talk about tonight. But the first perpetrator that really I think is the most notable due to the release of the most recent Acolyte is this individual here. Goes by the name of John Campea. Now, McDizzy, you're real familiar with his work, right?
Oh, yeah. He's got one of my favorite videos, when he's doing a little bukkake action all over the fans that are watching him. It's one of my favorites. Oh.
That's actually a really that you called it, you nailed it, because this is that video. He really likes showing off his pool for some reason.
Well, he does. You just give me a boner. I'm ready to watch this. Let's go.
This is the Dick Hunter himself.
He hunted.
Yeah.
For Tobey Maguire's dick. That's right.
Yes.
So this isn't one of his Star Wars takes, but I do want to kind of introduce people to who John Campea is with this kind of first clip. And without anything else need to be said, without further ado, here we go.
In Southern California, and I'm just out here kind of doing my normal evening routine, doing a little bit of work, trying to get ready for the next day. Just not a lot, just a little bit of light reading and some information gathering, if you will, just to get some stuff. So I have a little bit of a head start in the morning when I do my stuff. And I was going through some of the comments on some of the videos today. One of the stories that came out today was they got their lead cast for the How to Train Your Dragon live action remake, and I thought it was a terrific looking cast. I mean, they got the kid from the Black Phone, which to me is really quite exciting. They went and got the girl, Nico Parker, I think is her name, from Last of Us, who I think is tremendously gifted, and I love the episode she was in. I think she's going to be fantastic in this. And I started noticing that there were a bunch of comments on the girl being in it, and people complaining that this How to Train Your Dragon thing is already ruined because they changed Astrid.
Well, they did change Astrid. I don't know what the quotes are. They did change Astrid.
Yeah, I was going to say, what does he mean by changed? Why is he doing the quote? Like, they changed her.
Also, and what's this pile of crap behind him?
Yeah, I don't. Is that like is that a stethoscope? Is that or sorry, a telescope? Stethoscope. Is that a telescope?
A telescope, so he can spy on the neighbor lady. Here it is. Here it is, Grandma's house.
Guys, it's the only way he can find his dick. I mean, come on. Let's.
Oh, that's true.
That's how he hunts. Yeah.
But he'll show us how he uses it later when he's talking
true.
about the woke.
Is he from Canada?
Mm-hmm.
Is he? Yeah. Can we send him back to
There you
Canada?
go.
There you go.
So we'll see kind of this disingenuous argument with Campia about Astrid.
And because they changed Astrid, that means this thing was a complete disaster. It was ruined. It was destined to fail because they changed Astrid. I thought it was interesting. Because you know full goddamn well that if Astrid's supposed to be 5'3", and they hired a girl who was 5'4.5", that's a significant change, but nobody would have said anything, right?
No. That is ridiculous because you can fudge heights very easily in film.
Absolutely.
I believe there was a series of films that we all like, except for Drew, who has terrible taste apparently, called the Lord of the Rings trilogy, where they made people look like they were Hobbit-sized.
This is very true. And
so he's already created a straw man because he doesn't have a legitimate argument.
And the reverse of that is look at Tom Cruise. He is a Hobbit, and yet they made him to be like 6 feet tall in all of his films.
Watch Days of Thunder.
Yeah. So, and already he's like 5'2" or 5'3" to 5'4.5" on film, on screen. Like you said, that's not a big difference. They can work with that. They can make that. They can do their movie magic and whatever. And he's saying that a 1.5 inch difference in height is the same as an entire race change, an entire pigment change and culture change of an individual, which, like you said, is an absolute straw man and gaslighting of the argument. So
they wouldn't have said a thing. If Astrid is supposed to have hazel brown eyes, but they cast an actress who had walnut brown eyes, well, that's change.
What?
But
it's just eye rolling. Oh, brown eyes, but hazel eyes. Oh.
Wait, did he delete this? It says deleted race swap rant. Did he delete this?
I have not been able to find it anywhere except for on other channels.
Okay.
Which makes me think that it's
he probably got roasted for this and then
he did
like a pussy instead of standing his ground.
Yes, 100%. Yes.
Come on, John. If you believe in this, if you believe in your argument, if you believe in the changes not being real changes, then why don't you leave it up?
That's a good point. If he stands firm in his convictions, then he could leave it up. But I guess that was not his intention. So
they wouldn't have complained about it. Wouldn't have said a thing. Would have been perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with that change. If in the movie, Astrid was supposed to be right-handed, and they had the audacity to hire an actress who was right-handed, well, that's a change.
I think he meant to say
no. I think that's the same thing. I think that's the same thing, John. Actually,
she's right-handed, and they hire someone who's right-handed. Well,
you dumb bitch.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have said a thing about it because that's fine. But oh my God.
Oh.
If you get a girl who the pigmentation of her skin tone is a little bit different than Astrid's is.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit different. just a little bit.
And by the way, Astrid, who comes from a complete mythological fairy tale, non-existent, completely made up in fiction race of people and Vikings that don't really exist.
Yeah, no, that's right, though, John. I remember that the Rohirrim in the third Lord of the Rings film, they brought a Mazda to the fight because it is made up, right? So it is a made up nation, and so they can just have anything. So that's good. I think that's a really fair point, because
that's my favorite thing too is when they show up in the Mazda and the hobbits question the Mazda, and then Aragorn says, well, not everybody can afford a Subaru.
And isn't that great though, Aaron? Because it's like it's all made up, so like nothing really matters in terms of like the culture of the Rohirrim, of them being horse lords and from a Viking
source material doesn't matter. Source material doesn't matter at all because it's all made up. So just make it up again, even though on screen it will be a jarring change. because you are representing, whether or not it's a mythological world, you are representing a Viking culture.
Right.
And so, and a character that people are already familiar with and already have expectations of. Now, if How to Train Your Dragon, the movies had come out and Astrid had already been black, nobody would have said anything at the time, because back then, race wasn't the biggest deal on the planet for all of these weirdos like John Campea, who will go out and do this rant because he wants to look like he's on the right side of history. And he wants to do some useless, empty virtue signaling. No one would have complained, because you could have explained it. In this mythological world, these Vikings had conquered. Now, see, that does get a little uncomfortable, because now that means the Vikings conquered these people and took some of them as prisoner and used them as concubines. And now they have black Vikings because they conquered black people and brought them back as concubines. That starts some uncomfortable questions, which this new movie will also now have.
Look, I'm just going to be honest. I don't see a big deal with having black Vikings. I mean, we've got plenty in Minnesota, so.
I mean, would they also be considered as oppressors? And would they have taken the land from other Vikings or whatever? I don't know.
That's what the Vikings did.
They took lots of land, and they did it without any hesitation. But yeah, let's see what else he has to say. We've got Zach's in the chat. He says, "Oh, John Campea, yeah, he's your favorite." He was gangs. Oh man.
If the pigmentation of her skin is a little bit darker than what Astrid's is in the cartoon, height not a problem, eye color not a problem, hand not a problem. Oh, tone of her skin.
Oh,
that's a problem.
Oh,
this movie is doomed.
Ethnicity.
Yes,
that's different than height, than hair color, than things that can be changed on film. It doesn't matter if the actress cast is a redhead, if they make her blonde so that she looks like Astrid.
The other thing too, I feel like, is what's the purpose, right? Because we also have to think about like the intentionality behind the change. So like if they change Astrid to be a black woman, is it because they're trying to say something about, the Vikings and the dragons have to come together and work together? So do the Viking, the more light-skinned Vikings, and maybe there's a darker skinned tribe of Vikings who also have to work together. Is that the story that they're trying to tell? And it's like, no, there's no actual purpose or reason behind the change. It's just because they want virtue signal points, And so that's why when he's like, oh, well, right-handed or left-handed or eye color or height or whatever, if there's a significant change that is made to enhance the story, maybe that could be interesting. I don't know. But when they just do it because they're just like, oh, because black people, there's no reason
when they
do
it because it's like, oh, the cast is too white, we can't do that modern day. It's the same thing as Rings of Power. You could have, like they had carte blanche to write whatever story they wanted, and clearly they did, because none of it is based on Tolkien's lore.
Correct.
But instead of trying to make everybody look like metropolitan Los Angeles, where there's someone of every race in every group. So there's a Mexican dwarf, and there's a black dwarf, and there's a white dwarf, and there's a Filipino dwarf, and there's a Laotian dwarf, or all of those things in The Hobbit, in the group of Harfoots, who were repeatedly told is a closed-off society. Well, then how do they have so much racial diversity in their little closed-off society? It doesn't make any sense, and it doesn't ring true. What you can do if you want to broaden out the cast and you want to offer more roles to more people and be more representative is you can write a story where as they go to different places, those different places have different people living there. And then you can bring those people into the story. You can bring those people on the journey. You can do all of that and do it in a way that makes sense within the historical world that people recognize. Because after all, it's only right that it represents the world we live in, right? Well, the kind of diversity that they're putting into these things are only represented in metropolitan areas. They're still largely not represented throughout the world because the world is still pretty homogenous in most places.
You're I don't know, Aaron. It feels like you're talking, what's the word? Sense? I don't like sense and logic.
I don't know. Someone on Twitter called me a racist today, so it must be true.
Whoa, man!
on the internet.
It's not even 2018. What the hell are they doing? They took a time machine or something. That's
I know, a little bit behind
Gosh,
a little
dang.
bit behind the ball, man. A
I'm-
little off kilter. They didn't get their NPC update.
oh my gosh. They need to get the third vaccinate or the 33rd vaccination. They should be up to date, but man. Well, I would wear it with a badge of honor, Aaron. At this point, in 2024, if they're still hurling those insults, it's like you're boring. Boring. Think of something
You're
else.
also an Anon account with a cartoon avatar that doesn't have the
100%.
balls to have a real name on it. It's always the case. So it's like
Yeah.
first of all, your opinion means nothing to me. And the
Yeah.
fact that you're anonymous on Twitter means you mean less than nothing to me.
Hey, well, at least we've got like McDizzy who shows up and like shows who he actually is. He's out there. He's not hiding behind a facade or anything.
Hold on. Let's be honest. I've got a couple of dozen anonymous accounts that I use just to piss people off. Like, I'm not
that's true.
afraid to say shit, but if it's this like little like Twinkie chick and she's all hooty tooty and hoity toity, then I'll use my anonymous account that's got just a cartoon dick on it, and then
Hooty tooty.
yeah.
Oh,
Hoity
McDizzy.
toity.
Big
Also-
Richard in the house.
Look, that's right. I also look. I get Aaron's thing about they could have traveled the lands and whatever. Like, just make it. That's a little too much, man. Like, no, that's boring. That's why Drew fell asleep. Make it easier. Just the milkman came through town. Black babies appeared. Problem solved.
There you go. That's a good plot beat. Yeah, I like that. That's and inclusive. Got
And inclusive.
Yeah.
Because they got an actress, regardless of how talented or gifted, whose skin color is a little bit darker than the one in cartoon. See, that change, that's too much.
I love he is so animated whenever he does this stuff. Change.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a change. It's everything has to be like a theater production for him. But
I feel like we need to recut
wanna
this
say
clip.
this.
That every time he's going in saying change, we need to just insert him saying hood. It's not my show, so I won't say it, but hood
Oh,
ninjas.
yes.
Little hood ninjas.
Yeah. Damn, and he says it. He goes all in on the ninja.
Mm-hmm.
Please get the fuck off my channel, you mouth-breathing, basement-dwelling, humping motherfuckers. Just get off my channel. Don't.
Wow.
Whoa.
Listen.
Whoa.
I
Wow.
recommend that everybody get off his channel, whether or not they are mouth breathing, whether or not they are cousin humping. By the way, I can't wait. I can't wait till the day that this guy's DMs get leaked, because it's coming.
Oh,
You know
it's
it's coming. John Campia doth protest too much. You know that there's some dark skeletons in this
Yeah.
closet if he's got a virtue signal this hard. He is a male feminist, which is both a description and a warning.
That he does, and that he is. Gosh dang. Yeah, he has to have the self-awareness to understand that when he says like mouth breathing, basement dwelling, like he's a channel that reviews nerd culture, pop culture, movies, films, like comics, whatever it may be. Like he's alienating a good portion of his audience. Not to say that all nerds are a bunch of mouth breathers that live in each other's, their mom's basements or whatnot. But at the same time, I think he doesn't realize that like a lot of these people are autistically detailed when it comes to lore, when it comes to changes within the lore. And we're going to see in the next Star Wars video just how little he cares about that kind of stuff.
Well,
So-
Max, I would say he probably thought he was going to get more subs after this.
Oh no. He probably thought he was. He lost like 30 to 4,000 subs.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
this
absolutely.
video.
Yeah, I guarantee you. Initially, he thought. Go back to his Collider days, just how much clout and he thought he had in Hollywood from that. I guarantee you, he still has that ego from those times and thought, yes, this is going to be so stunning and brave and dramatic that I'm going to get more subs to my channel after this. They're going to be coming to me. No, they're going away from you. Fast.
Can I admit something here?
Please.
This is the first John Campia video I have ever seen. This is the first
Really?
time I have ever
Oh,
seen
no.
him on camera. I never watched him on Collider, but I know that
Oh,
Wes
wow.
hates his guts. I know that Wes is like, I watched Collider until I could no longer stand watching anything that John Campia even had a small part in. And he was
Oh,
like,
wow.
I hate
Same.
John Campea so much. And now I know why. Now I know why. This guy has the most. First of all, I didn't think anybody could have a more punchable face than Soups. This guy has the world's most punchable face.
Yeah,
Oh,
he does have the
we're not
Beyond
even.
that, the mannerisms are so punchable.
Yeah.
Every time he
Yeah.
does his little finger quotes, I want to break them off, and I want to. Well, never mind. So like push
say,
them into his
your-
eye sockets. until
Keep
they
your
come out
damn
the back.
fingers to yourself. Yeah.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, outside of John Schnepp and Robert Meyer Burnett, everyone on the Collider cast had a very punchable face, and he was one of the two. Like watching John and I forget what the other guy's name was. I think it started with Chris or whatever. But those two jackasses, when you see them do their review, like their rants of like not being able to get access into Hall H, not able to get into Disney, or not able to get into SDCC for free on the house, it is the funniest thing.
Is this
I
one
love
of the
it.
guys that was crying about that Red Letter Media was making
Yeah.
fun of?
Yeah, he's one
Well,
of the guys.
Campea did make a video a while back because he was at Anaheim here, Aaron. He was like right by the. So he was here for D23 at the Anaheim Convention Center. So he was right here in Southern California, and they didn't give him press tickets, so he didn't get in. And yet he was told that, go to the front, they'll have your tickets there or whatever, and you'll get in. He didn't. I guess they either forgot or they didn't invite him that year, and he just assumed that they were. And so he made a video outside of the Anaheim Convention Center being like, I guess I'm not going to D23 if this is how they treat their press and blah, blah, blah. So pretty
And
interesting.
everybody at D23 went, "Oh, good."
Yeah.
They were like,
Yeah,
don't have to
Christian
see
Harloff.
this-
Yeah, that's good.
Don't have
Yeah,
to see
Christian
this
Harloff
stuff
was the
for
other guy.
yeah. I also wanted to in terms of Collider, I have not actually watched a Collider video either. The only
Really?
way that you could get me to watch a Collider video would be if it was with Robert Meyer Burnett, because I follow
Am
him
I the only guy?
exclusively.
Am I the only guy here that's watched them? I watch them
Dizzy?
every single week. I was watching them every week.
Really?
Seriously, like
Wow.
yeah, every damn week, every day they put out a new video. I was watching it until The Last Jedi came out, and then their true colors showed. Then I was like,
Yeah,
you know
Wes
what?
said
I'm done with
Wes tells the
jackasses.
story that he went to Collider after seeing The Last Jedi because he was like, this movie is disgusting, and I need to see other people talking about it. And he said that they were like especially Campea was just juggling the balls of Disney so hard for The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
He was
It
like,
was
I'm
shocking.
never watching this channel again.
Same. I was
Wow.
shocked. I was absolutely shocked.
He did. I think it's funny that he did all that. He got down on his knees and he went full service on the mouse, and yet he didn't get tickets into D23. I understand why he was upset.
Well,
When
that's the
you've
thing.
swallowed the gravy, you expect
Yeah.
a certain amount of reciprocation. Certain
Have
amount
you
of
guys seen-
reciprocity.
Do you guys feel
The-
like
the
that
next-
has happened to a lot of channels where like because you mentioned something interesting. You were watching something up into a point that The Last Jedi came out, and then there was a split. And I feel like that is a pivotal moment for nerddom and fandom when the House of Mouse picked up Star Wars. That was one of the biggest divides that we've seen within, I think, the fandom. And a lot of shows had to, determine where they were going to sit from that point on. But I don't know.
There was a lot of goodwill towards The Force Awakens. When I saw it, I was like, all right, I didn't love it. I immediately realized it was just a rehash of The New Hope, but I was fairly forgiving because I was like, you just paid $4 billion for a property. You want to kind of reestablish it. I don't like that they did this, but I understand why they did it. I wasn't even like particularly mad about Rey. Like you can actually probably go back in my Twitter history and find me defending Rey back after The Force Awakens. Cause I was like, yeah, I get it. Like, she comes off as a Mary Sue in this, she comes off as OP, but I think that, you get to the next movie and there'll be answers. And the second part of the story is, that's the downbeat. That's where, her overconfidence or her overpower will get her in trouble. She'll make a mistake. It'll cost her something. Maybe she gets somebody killed. There'll be some kind of like down moment for her where she has to build herself back up.
Mhm.
And then I saw The Last Jedi.
I would say, how'd that work out for you?
And I was happy with Rogue One. I came out of Rogue One feeling pretty good. I was like, oh, I liked that. I like that way better than The Force Awakens. I think I'll like these single stories better than the trilogy. But I still went into The Last Jedi with no real expectations except for it to be a Star Wars movie, and then it wasn't.
Yeah.
And that was where I said I will never pay for another Disney Star Wars film again, and I have not.
Nice.
Well, you're a man who can draw a line in the sand, a man who has values. And what was it the other night, or Mick Dizzy? Maybe you can ask Josh, but Josh and I last night were talking about with his friend. We were talking about a man who has standards, and a man who has standards is actually a man who comes across as more masculine, more disciplined. And I mean, like for me in Marvel, like when I was like, what they've been doing with this film franchise, like their standards have dropped and my standards have stayed the same. Why am I going to give them money? And that's what I find interesting about this whole thing. And I'll bring this up later as we go through some more of these videos too. But why is it always the individuals who have the most care and love and appreciation for these things? Why do we have to be the ones who are holding our standards at a certain level? And all these shills drop their standards to just like the lowest form, or the lowest common denominator, the lowest form of media ever, just to say that they love something. It just shows their true colors, and it feels like they don't actually love what the thing is, but they love the flashiness of. They like it because it's popular. When it's popular, and they like it, yeah, like I said, because it's popular. If that makes sense.
Consume, don't think. It's the basic definition of the individual we're going to be talking about next. Consume, don't think.
Correct.
Just no convictions, no standards.
So McDizzy sent me this.
Yeah.
What are we looking at here, McDizzy?
That's that base sigma, alpha male John Campia right there.
Damn.
So when you look at that, don't you shaking your boots? Don't you pee your pants a little bit? Yeah.
I just see Sigma male energy with the double Riz.
I thought he's getting ready to go watch Wild Hogs.
Riz. Yeah.
I think
That's probably what he was. Yeah.
I think he's a leather daddy going to the club.
Ooh.
Yeah, the eagle. Where he's gonna. Never mind.
Get ready to watch Cruising. Yeah, he's going to a Cruising premiere. Yeah, that's what it is.
Nice. Well, hey, I wouldn't mess with him. So
I would laugh at him. I would point and laugh at him.
Well, maybe we can do a little bit more of that here because he is not done, and we've just got a few more minutes left of this one.
Don't come to my channel. I'm on a personal mission. I want to purge 30,000 of my subscribers off my channel within the next 48 hours. And I would like them to be, because with the number of comments of people saying such idiotic, moronic things, I figure there's got to be at least 30,000 of you knuckle draggers around there. So please just leave my channel. Don't come back. Don't watch my stuff. I want to purge 30,000 things. Do me a favor, you racist pieces of shit.
Wow. So once again, Aaron, this is 2018. You just said you got called a racist today. Well, now you got called a racist twice. Once from John Campia and another time from an Anon on Twitter. But yeah, what if it's like some kid who's like, hey, I really loved How to Train Your Dragon, and I thought that like, why I'm gonna watch all these 3 films, these How to Train Your Dragon films, and then I'm gonna watch the live action, and I'm gonna like, wait a second, that's not the same thing, right? So I'm just a little confused. What if there's a kid like that? Well, according to Campia, he's a racist.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so, and I guess it's funny. I always love when people call me a racist, because it's like, do you see the people that I work with, that I hire, that I do you see the women that I date? Do you see that half my family is Sri Lankan? Do you see that it's really kind of hilarious. I love it.
It's quite fascinating.
It's like that's why it's like it's never bothered me, even back like early in 2016 when this kind of started, and this is how they would try to shut you up. I would always shrug it off. Look, I had a cabal of the Whisper Network regulars that were going to go after me and try to paint me as a misogynist, and then I BTFO'd them with my manager at the time, and the threat of legal action that was like, okay, well, we already have several affidavits signed by prominent women that Aaron has worked with and that are friends with him that will testify to his character. And if you try to say these things about him, which you cannot prove because they are, absolutely not true, they're going to try to tie me to certain things. I think like one of the plans was that to try to say that I created the not all men hashtag, which is a hashtag that I never even used. But it was just like, we will have all this documentation and we will sue you for defamation. We will, we'll absolutely drag your ass into court. And then they all backed off. But, I'm sure there's still plenty of little things that go on behind the scenes, but I don't care. I don't care because I don't want to work in your stupid little industry anyway. Because I'm not like John Campea. I'm not willing to put on my knee pads and get down and start the mouth party.
Give him the old Huck Tua, Aaron. You
That's
don't want
right.
to do that to the House of Mouse? Come on.
Well, let me tell you, long before that girl became internet famous, John Campea was doing the Hawk Tua.
John Campea invented the Hawk Tua to the Disney to the mouse. Yeah.
So before also the other guy along with John Campea was Christian Harloff. Christian Harloff was the other guy. He's the one who put out the Disney video, the Disney rant, how he couldn't get into Disneyland or whatever, couldn't get into the Star Wars park, whatever. It is hysterical. Yeah.
Oh, that's right, because he didn't get invited to the opening of Galaxy's Edge.
Correct.
Yeah. Yes. Oh my God.
Oh, I'm sorry that you didn't get to go witness one of the most boring lands ever created, and then on top of it, have to be taken off Rise of the Resistance 6 times because it continually breaks down. Sorry that you missed that, Christian Harloff.
And that's what we constantly see is like it's access, right? And this is something that I'll ask, and I keep asking myself, and as I'm watching these videos, as I'm watching these reactions, and I'm watching, these individuals on YouTube continually antagonize their fan base. Why are they doing this? Is it for money? Is it for status? It's for access, at least most of the time. I feel like it's to get that sweet deal at Galaxy's Edge as they're about to open, or to get the front row seats at D23. And I feel like that is such a sad way to live your existence and a sad way to interact with this thing that we love. Because I can read a comic book in 15 minutes and gain much, much more love and appreciation and just enjoyment from that than going to some comic book summit, thing, live Hall H, San Diego Comic-Con thing. I don't know. I just feel like it's a sad way to engage with the hobby. But
look at this guy. Look at this guy. If he couldn't be on YouTube, and he couldn't get access to things first so that people would actually go to his channel to watch it, what would he be doing? He'd be
Working
like
at
managing a
Starbucks.
Yeah, he would be Starbucks. He'd be managing a Subway. Look at this guy. So this is the thing. He has nothing creative to contribute.
Yeah.
All he can do is comment on things, and he can't even do that because he can't have an opinion. He can only have the approved opinion. So his entire life is about access, so that these knuckle draggers and mouth breathers that he's talking about will worship him and think that isn't he cool? Isn't he important that he gets to go and do these things? That's what his life is about. And it's sad and it's pathetic that you sold your soul. You sold out any integrity you might have had so cheaply to a corporation so that you could have access, so that you could have mouth breathers and knuckle draggers think you're cool.
But not just that, he married into access too. His wife, I think his wife at one point, she's worked for Apple, she worked for Amazon, she's like an high up executive. And I forget who she works with out in Hollywood now. But he's got access.
No wonder he can afford that pool. What does his wife's boyfriend do? Do you know what he does?
He cleans the pool. That's what he does.
There you go. Yeah. Oh man. Honey, give me one. Or he's on a live stream and he's like, honey, what was that? Oh, sorry guys. My wife's boyfriend wants me to make him a sandwich. I'll be right back.
I gotta drive my wife's boyfriend to work. I'll be back.
Because he has a real job.
Looks like Adam Sandler from Airheads. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll watch the rest of this.
And go and find one of your echo chamber websites where you can all stand around and jerk each other off while you tilt your head back and go, woke, and then you can come.
It's the best.
That is such projection. Whoa. That is such projection.
Oh yeah, echo chamber. What the shills have to have the correct approved opinion from the mouse himself that comes down to Kathleen Kennedy to then comes down to the fan base, and if you do not have the right corporate mandated approved newslettered take, the Acolyte is good, actually.
Well, the hilarious part is he's saying,
yeah.
go to your circle jerks, go to your echo chambers. And he's saying, I want 30,000 people to leave so that I can have my echo chamber where everybody believes as I believe and nobody challenges my opinion. That's exactly what he's saying. So again, it's projection. He's jerking off all over his own face, which I'm sure he's not a stranger to at all. That wrist action was a little too familiar.
Look, I don't know. I was going to say, do you think he doesn't know how to jerk off because he's retarded or because he's Canadian? Because I've never seen anyone do it like that. So
can they be mutually exclusive? Yeah, they don't need to.
You know,
I mean, yeah. Canadian, both retarded and Canadian.
Go and find one of your echo chamber websites where you can all stand around and jerk each other off while you tilt your head back and go woke, woke, and then you can come on each other's faces and tell each other that come on your face cleanses you of wokeness. Yeah, tell yourselves that. Whatever is going to get you off and make you feel good about yourself. Just don't come around here. Nobody can.
You know what's also funny is like I wonder if his neighbors are like, fucking John Campy's at it again, man. Like
he's out there doing the jerk off thing and talking about come on faces again.
He's screaming woke all over the place. Like, why does he do this? Gosh dang it.
This guy really wants come on his face.
Yeah.
Complains about the height of Hugh Jackman. Nobody complains about the physical difference.
Actually,
nerds lost their shit over him being too tall.
Yeah.
Actually, no, that is false. Even I have been like, man, I just wish Hugh Jackman was shorter, or they could at least try and make him shorter in post or something. But yeah, no, I feel like if they were to recast him, I would love a shorter dude. He doesn't need to be 5'3" because that might be hard to find an actor like
and
that.
You can fudge it, but you can make him look 5'3".
100%. Yeah,
I think we're gonna get that in Deadpool 3. I very strongly believe we're gonna get.
Yeah,
that
I think
finally.
that like when you see Patch, I think he's gonna get off. I think it's gonna be Hugh Jackman, but I think he's gonna get off the stool. He's only gonna be 5'3". Like if they don't do that, that is such a missed opportunity.
Yes,
because, Deadpool, like, well, Ryan Reynolds will have a bunch of zingers just based on that.
Yeah,
unless Disney was like, you can't do that. We have short people, and that's short shaming.
Oh yeah. Well, no, I would think it would be actually body positivity because they would be representative of people who are that short. I don't know.
Differences between my beloved Henry Cavill and what he looked like in the comics versus what he looked like in the movies. No, because those changes aren't a problem. The changes are only a problem if the girl's skin color is a little bit different.
Not true.
Yeah, so just go away.
True.
Yeah, that's never been
the Cavill Superman costume. There's no reason to be upset with Cavill's casting as Superman because he looks like Superman.
Yes.
But people tore apart the costume because it didn't look like the comic costume.
And they also tore apart Man of Steel because he is a war criminal in that film.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were like, this isn't our Superman.
And he commits a genocide. He commits a genocide against the Kryptonian. He destroys the Krypton had its chance and lets the Codex die, which Superman would never do.
Yeah.
Wild, man. Yeah.
Ultraman.
Yeah, no, even who was it when what's his name? Ben Affleck was first announced. At least in my friend group, they hated it. I was cool with it. I actually liked the casting, but most of my friends were like, "This is stupid. This is the worst." He was terrible in Daredevil, and he's just going to be terrible again as Batman. So yeah, no, this happens with every actor when they get put into the role. So.
And he was kind of terrible as Batman, as it turned out. He was at least terrible as Bruce Wayne.
But, I liked his Batman.
That was the Joss cut, though. Like the Joss.
Yeah, that's true.
Was awful.
Or when he's cracking jokes and he's like, "Can you at least point me to Atlantis?" It's like,
it's like stop jossing Batman. Stop it.
Exactly.
Oh, it's definitely bleeding. There's definitely blood. Oh god.
I thought you didn't like me. Oh, I do not like you.
I don't
not like you.
Yeah.
God. DC Universe movies. Why?
Oh man, just wait till we get to Soups because Soups has quite quite the something to say about DC films, because his hero is Superman. So he'll talk about that a little bit later. I do want to show this next Campia video though, because now
who
we
would
get into that.
Superman? Who would Superman?
Say again.
I said, the Soups is his hero. Superman is Soups' hero. Who would Superman tell "F you, bitch"?
Oh yeah.
Who would Superman say that to?
That's a good question. I don't know. He's not being very Superman-like though. So this is a 15-minute video on the John Campia channel titled "The Coyote Mundi Controversy is So Stupid It's Laughable." Ratioed 3.3 thousand to 1.5 thousand on his own channel, which that's hard to do, but maybe we'll see why.
The Acolyte just put out episode 4, and I did an open mic about it the other day. In case there's any confusion, it's absolutely terrible.
He sips from his butt.
Now, if you're somebody who liked it,
woke into his cup. Someone has to fill his woke cup every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
So the one thing that John Campia does here in this clip though is he says, hey, the Acolyte is pretty terrible though. Like the story structure, the plot line, the character development, it's bad. Like it's not a good show.
Wait, what? Did Disney's check not cash, or is he still mad because they didn't let him into D23?
I don't know. I think he's trying to be chummy, if you will, because he's trying to say, guys, no, listen to me, listen. Like I agree, it's not that great. It's not, it's not my favorite show. It's not good. But all you man babies out there who are crying about canon, well, you guys are wrong. So he's kind of doing this thing where he's like, I don't like it, but you shouldn't do this. It's a little bit like I said, it's being a little chummy, where it doesn't feel genuine. It feels like he's just trying to say it in order to hit us over the head with the other thing that he's got coming, which is canon doesn't really matter. So
at least he's got his cool Sons of Anarchy cut in the background to remind
you. He does have that.
He is a motorcycle guy.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
He rides bitch.
Yeah, no, this is a moped guy, and he rides bitch.
Yeah.
because I got messages from some people that liked episode 4, and if you did, thumbs up. I'm super excited for you. I'm glad you liked it. I'm not going to try to yuck on your yum and talk you out of liking it. I just talked about how I personally thought it was complete.
Yuck on your yum?
Oh, that made me want to.
Yeah, I hate that phrase. Yeah.
What?
I've never heard of it.
Oh, I've heard it.
This.
Usually it's a bunch of vaginas saying it, so it tracks that he's saying it. But
John loves it. John loves it when someone yucks on his yum.
He does.
This is true.
Oh, sure.
When they
woke,
when they woke on his
completely dreadful, showed a lack of even the most basic fundamental understandings of storytelling, and I thought it was just horrendous and terrible. That being said, it drives me crazy when something is terrible and there's a lot of legitimate reasons to call it terrible. It drives me insane then when I see some people making up absolutely asinine reasons for it being terrible. Because when you...
So he's going to talk about how people have been talking about the Coyote Mundi controversy, and they're saying that that's what makes the episode terrible. I'm a normie when it comes to Star Wars, but correct me if I'm wrong. I don't ever remember seeing anyone on Twitter saying the episode is bad because Coyote Mundi's in it, but the episode is bad because of these basic storytelling structure elements. Oh, and it's stupid because they broke canon and this character is in it 40 years before he was even born. Something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we'll
they're
play
saying that that one of the things that sucks is Disney's the Disney creators' casual disregard for what George Lucas laid down.
Yeah.
And even if George Lucas didn't specifically say this is Coyote Mundi's date of birth, it was in the episode guides. So people are going to, people that are lore nerds, and like you said, Max, a lot of these people are autistic. So they are, absolutely, just completely consumed with the details.
Yeah.
When you spit in the face of that, and you spit in the face of what George Lucas established, because the bigger complaint is Coyote Mundi is finding out about a Sith Lord when he says in episode 1, the Sith have been extinct for a millennium. Now, I didn't get upset about this because, number one, Disney already threw out all of the canon.
Right.
And so they're just making it up as they go along. And that's part of the reason that it's trash. So that's why people are complaining, because they're breaking the lore again, because they have no regard for it. And that's why a big reason of why these series are trash. So that's what people are actually complaining about. But John is either too stupid or too disingenuous to acknowledge it.
Yeah, and John's argument coming up is incredibly, incredibly stupid. I couldn't believe what his argument's going to be here.
And you know what's funny? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Drew.
No, Aaron, have you watched this yet? What his argument's going to be?
No, I've never seen it. I've never seen a John Campea video before now.
Oh, just I'll just say he brings up George again. So that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. And what's interesting is that when the new Warhammer lore changed to the Custodian Guard, including females, and the Games Workshop Twitter stating that, well, females have always been in the Custodian Guard. They've always been there for the past 10,000 years. It's always been a thing. The same arguments that Campy is about to argue here is the same. Like, I mean, we could have a bingo card for every time there's a little one of these things that comes up and they mention it. It's always like, well, canon doesn't really actually matter, or guys, it's just a bunch of space wizards or wizards in space. It doesn't actually mean anything. It's not really that cool.
Then why do you have to see yourself in it? Why do you have to see yourself in it if that's all that it is?
Why are these people having their entire lives centered and focused around this? Why are people crying over these episodes? But guys, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. But we need a fat Jedi so some guy can go, finally, I see myself as a Jedi. Yeah, exactly.
Maybe you should see yourself into the gym if you want to be a Jedi. Like, these characters should be aspirational. They shouldn't be dragged down to your level.
Yeah. I 100% agree.
When we watched Empire Strikes Back, when we all watched Empire, and we see just a little bit of the training Luke has to go through physically on Dagobah, that should tell you, oh, okay, this shows you like how much physical, I guess to a degree, like what is physically expected from a Jedi Knight, not just sitting on your ass.
Here's the thing: if you want to put a fat guy in as a Jedi, if you want to do that, just give me a logical explanation for it.
Yeah,
put in something about this guy. Like, give us a little time with this guy where we find out that he's from a world where gravity is much more dense. And then there's like I'm serious. There's like a reason. If you're not going to make him an alien, then just say that he's from a planet that has a much more dense gravity, so they're bigger. Or
that he has more midichlorians because he has a higher body count, or like he has a higher weight of a body count. I don't know.
Are midichlorians the measured in cholesterol? Is that?
Oh no!
If
so, he'd be the most powerful Jedi out there. Yeah. But yeah, all these really, and we've been to these comic conventions before. We've been to a lot of these meetups before. There, this is totally fine. It's just an observation. I'm not saying whether it's good or bad. But a lot of nerds tend to be very overweight, really heavy, to the point that they look like this Jedi guy in the show. Now, are they all clapping and screaming, going like, "Finally, this fat guy represents me"? Then what good is it? Like you said, Aaron, heroes are supposed to be aspirational. I want to look at Superman, and I don't want him to look like me, because then I'm just going to be okay with being fat and being like, all right, cool. But because my body positivity, I guess, I don't know. It feels so antithetical to what a hero is and what we need to aspire to be like, if that makes sense. So
we should look at heroes and we should want to better ourselves, morally and physically.
Yeah, absolutely.
Asinine reasons, not legitimate reasons for something being terrible. It undermines the legitimate criticism about how terrible of a piece of television that episode was. And I bring before you, as I was doing open mic, a lot of people wrote in with this one thing, and I bring before you the people exhibit Coyote Mundi.
Oh.
The complaints I saw coming out about this character, Coyote Mundi, who makes an appearance in The Acolyte, episode 4, show a basic fundamental misunderstanding of how Star Wars works, number one.
Oh, number one. Okay. Show a basic...
Please, John Campea, tell me how Star Wars works. I'm all ears.
A basic fundamental understanding of how Star Wars works. Okay, that's a bold claim to start off your video.
On. And is again, like some things, like episode 3 was also terrible, but then people made up stuff that was never actually in episode 3 as complaints about episode 3. It's like, guys, there are plenty of reasons to dislike that episode. Stick to the legitimate ones. But this Coyote Mooney thing, there's
Do you want to
two
give an
big
example? Do
complaints.
you want to give one example?
Nope.
If you're going to use that to bolster your argument, you need to provide examples.
He doesn't have time for that, Aaron. He just wants to get to the why we're all a bunch of bigots and why we fundamentally don't understand Star Wars. So
That are coming out about Coyote Mundi in this in episode 4. And both are nonsense. Absolute factual nonsense.
Oh wow. Oh, so he's bringing the objective argument.
Oh, the
Okay,
actual facts of this mythological world.
Yeah.
These facts are. It's just like, dude, what the motherfucker?
I can barely watch this guy. I hate this guy.
Oh, it gets better. It gets better. Oh, it gets better.
So wait,
Oh,
I thought that all art is subjective, and that when you're objective, you're a racist. But I guess there's objectivity to when we're wrong, though.
Mhm.
So we'll see.
And remember, I'm saying this is a guy who completely hated that episode.
See, this is why I feel like it's disingenuous because he's like, but guys, I didn't like the episode, but you're still all a bunch of fundamentally misunderstanding man babies who are crying about this. So
I don't like that you didn't like the
Completely.
episode for different reasons than I didn't like the episode.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He hated it. The two complaints are, number one, John, they broke canon. No, they didn't. But John, they broke canon in two different ways. Number one, he shouldn't be alive during the time of the Acolyte because
I mean, yeah. Is that not right? I mean, I think that's right.
I mean, that is right.
I mean, that is true.
Now, granted, all of that's thrown out because of Disney, but again, that doesn't invalidate the criticism that he should not be alive yet.
correct
Because that's the canon that's yet
Oh.
another piece of canon that Disney has tossed out.
yeah. Right.
oh, just wait, Aaron. Just wait. He's gonna get to it. Just
Am I going to
wait for
lose?
it.
Am I
Because
going to
according
lose
to-
my shit? Am I just going to like? Okay, I'm going to shut up. I'm going to shut up, and I'm just going to try to get through this.
I know. I'm sorry. Because once we get to what he deems as Star Wars canon, it should be kind of interesting.
canon, and they're wrong. According to canon, he hasn't been born yet.
Wait, he said so according to, and sorry, I keep pausing, but he said according to canon, and they're wrong. But then he's about to show us the date that was changed on Wikipedia, so we're not wrong because there was a date there, and then and then Disney changed it, and
Well,
now
one
it's
of the
something
shills,
else.
one of the Wikipedia shills changed it.
Correct, right. So we're not wrong because there was a date prior to this that his birth date was.
That
So
came
it's just
from the episode guide that came out at the same time as episode 1.
Correct. In 1991, yeah. There you go.
It was put
Or no,
out
sorry,
by-
98.
by Lucasfilm.
99. Yeah.
Yes.
And-
Yeah,
Oh, was it
they're gonna bring
98?
that up.
Oh, okay.
They're going to bring that up.
All
Just
right,
wait.
we're going to address that. And number two, they broke canon like Batman's back over Bane's knee because in Star Wars: The Phantom Menace, Coyote Mundi says the Sith have been extinct for millennia, and yet in this episode he knows about the Sith. That breaks canon. Okay, we're going to address both of those. Let's start with
That was a healthy dosage of woke that he just sipped on.
charge that it broke canon by having him be alive in the events of the Acolyte when he should not have been born yet. Okay, let's talk about that. To address this point, we got to go all the way back and talk about a certain guy at Lucasfilm by the name of Leland Chee. His official title at one point is the Lucasfilm Continuity Database Administrator, or as they sometimes called him, the head of canon. Now, in an article in 2008 in Wired, not some Gus's gas station movie reviews fart place, but in this interview in Wired, talking about addressing the issues of canon.
Because Wired is the source of all true is the Bible of journalism. So
Elon said the following.
How many subs does this clown skull have?
over 300,000, I think.
Okay,
Yeah.
I understand why it's so low. How many does Nerdrotic have?
A million.
How many does Critical
Over-
Drinker
yeah.
have?
I think 2 million now.
Where do you
Wow.
think the majority of the fandom is? Where do you think that their opinions lie? Do you think they lie more aligned with the guys that have 2 million and 1 million, over 1 million subscribers, or do you think they're with this dickhole?
But Aaron, what if I told you that Grace Randolph is close to 1 million subscribers? She has 900 and something thousand subscribers.
I
on
would
her channel.
counter to you that Grace Randolph has had a YouTube channel since like 2008.
Oh my God. Okay, so she's like a Chris
Wow.
Stuckman. She did this like before
She
everyone.
was in, like when I was working with her at Boom, she already had Beyond the Trailer going.
Okay, all right.
Wow.
That'll do it. That'll do it.
George's view of the universe is his view. He is not, as the primary filmmaker, he is not beholden to what has gone before. The careful tending of the Star Wars continuity has yielded great wealth, but the key to a productive farm is to leave some fields flexible. Again, this comes from an interview with him back in 2008. It is important to understand something here that Leland's talking about. It's like before the Star Wars prequels came out, other expanded universe Star Wars content came out. And Leland Chi talks about in that interview that George would break that stuff all the time. But that was his purview because he was the filmmaker. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video.
Oh God, no.
That was his purview. That was his purview because he was the creator.
Yes.
And by the way, when George would break canon, like I will just give you an example. There is a story in Tales from the Mos Eisley Cantina that is about Boba Fett. And it talks about how Boba Fett is an alias. He was a journeyman named Jaster Muriel. It tells this whole backstory, this whole kind of like touches on this backstory for Boba Fett. When George does the prequels, he decides he wants to introduce Jango Fett, and then he wants to make Boba Fett a clone of Jango, and he wants to change all that. So what he does is he has the Lucasfilm publishing people hire a very talented writer named Hayden Blackman to go in and write Jango Fett open seasons that reconnects all of the continuity and draws as much of the Mos Eisley Cantina story as possible and puts it in Jango Fett's story, and then makes it so that Jaster Muriel is actually the man that trained and raised Jango Fett, the Mandalorian that trained and raised him, and therefore Jaster Muriel is an alias that Boba Fett sometimes uses. So what he does is George breaks canon, but then they bring in a talented writer to kind of stitch it back together so that it makes sense. So that you can explain away the Mos Eisley Cantina story as apocryphal, but still being, fairly close. It's just a story that somebody was telling that wasn't, exactly there.
Yeah.
When Mundi says in George's film, as the creator, the Sith have not existed for a millennia. Okay, so now you either have to make Mundi a liar, or you have to make him a fool. But either way, you're not only breaking canon, but you're spitting in the face of what George did.
But we all know that once Disney bought the rights from George, they didn't give two Fs about George.
No, absolutely. They they pushed him out as quickly as possible.
Oh yeah.
But,
so this is just
Aaron,
more of that.
But John's argument, his whole strawman argument in this is that since George broke his own canon, it's okay. That is his whole argument in this video. Because George broke it, it's okay.
Yeah. So he'll break down the levels of canon and why it, looks a certain way, but we'll
so because George, the creator of Star Wars, broke his own canon,
right?
Any dipshit that Disney hires is allowed to do so as well.
Correct. Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right.
That's
All
his
right,
argument.
sure. That's certainly an argument.
Yeah.
That's certainly what's happening.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
Canon was a very nebulous thing. At Star Wars, there were actually different degrees of canon. And that always drove me crazy because something's either canon or it's not. It's like saying a girl is sort of pregnant. No, a girl is either pregnant or she is not pregnant. There's no sort of pregnant. But at Star Wars, and this is important to understand as we're talking about Ki-Adi-Mundi being alive in the events of the Acolyte, okay? At Star Wars, there are different levels of canon, different levels of importance of canon, and some stuff that was really canon and some stuff that wasn't. First of all, there was G-level canon. That's what they called it. That is the highest true level of canon. That was G canon because it was George canon. For example, the movies, episodes 1 through 6, the released films overrode anything in the movies, overrode anything in any other level of canon. So you could have a story in a comic book at that time, but Leland Chee says George wasn't beholden to that. He could come into a movie and make something that completely overrode something that was in something else, because only his movies were G level, and those take priority over anything else.
Now, I believe G canon has probably turned into D canon, Disney canon.
Yeah, because they're dragging their D all over the canon.
Correct. Because people have been, Haktua-ing on the D, and now they have, created D canon. So yeah, I mean, I feel like once George let it go, there was no more G canon at that point, which is odd because G canon should, from that point on, have been solidified. Because once George relinquished it, or I guess sold it, I still feel like that G canon should have actually been the S tier level canon.
Absolutely.
because of what it was. But I think they overruled it with D canon. So we'll keep going.
Next, there was what they called T canon. That was television canon. The canonicity level comprising of the Clone Wars, which George Lucas also co-created. That basically meant if they did something in Clone Wars, George was still totally free to contradict that in the movies as the primary filmmaker.
There were no movies when I initially made after Clone Wars.
Right.
George made no movies after that.
What I thought when I first heard this is I was saying like, oh no, is he going to say that because it's a television show, because it's a streaming show, that it doesn't matter? Like, because it's below G canon, so it's not actually canon. Is that what his argument is going to be? I was like, oh no, what's he trying to do here? But I don't think that's ultimately what his argument.
I think my argument would be that it's D canon, therefore it doesn't matter because it's apocryphal and it's not Star Wars.
That too. I mean, that could absolutely be an argument as well.
After T canon, the next level down was something called C canon. And that was continuity canon. Most of the materials from the expanded universe, including books, comics, and video games, and by the way, CD-ROMs. You're going to see how this all ties into Ki-Adi-Mundi here in a second. So you got big canon, the real canon, G canon. Right below that is T canon. Then you start dropping. Then there's C canon. And then there's S level canon next, secondary canon, elements introduced in continuity that wasn't contradicted by other material. Then down below that was D level canon. They called detours canon. And then way at the bottom was N canon or non-canon. Stuff like what if stories, such as the first 20 issues of the Star Wars Tales of the Comic anthology. So you got all these different levels of canon, right? C level canon was not a priority. Material from expanded universe stuff, books, comics, video games. These are things that were free to be contradicted that would then become S level canon, because that secondary canon, elements that were introduced but then later contradicted by either T level canon on television or G level canon, the George canon. Why is that important? Here's why it's important. Because Ki-Adi-Mundi's age, that everybody's running around and clutching their pearls about, screaming that
clutching their pearls about. Yeah. For the most part, people have just been going like, why is he here? Like that's the amount of screaming and whining and clutching their pearls. It's just I've just seen people being like, why is he here? That's just like
John
Campea
is sure getting worked up over something that doesn't matter.
I was about to say, if anyone is making this a big deal, it's Campea here. But oh well. He's got to prove us man babies, us woke man babies. He's got to prove us right. So
I'm just still laughing about that Sons of Anarchy cut in the back. Like, what a laughable thing. Like the idea of this guy, like, like I love that show so much, man. Yeah, I could have been a biker.
Well, I sent that picture for a reason. So
yeah.
it was a Sons of Anarchy event.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's gonna be in the remake of Wild
Hogs. Alive
Hogs.
At that time. Was never canon.
It was never canon. Okay.
Oh.
So wait, it was canon, but it broke canon, or it was never canon? I don't know. Well, let's see.
Was never canon. Ki-Adi-Mundi's year of birth was never once mentioned in anything T canon, television canon, nor was it ever mentioned in anything G level canon, the movie level canon.
But it was. It's in the first episode of the Star Wars.
It's in the episode guide, the official episode guide that they release.
Well, yeah. So
that's coming up.
But like
that's coming up.
Isn't
And
Coyote
I don't
Moon-
care. Look, I don't care because they've already shit all over Star
Well,
Wars, so
yeah,
it doesn't really
yeah.
matter. But him going out there and making this argument, and God, I'm so freaking sick of talking about Star Wars. I hate Star Wars so much now.
Yeah.
It's so exhausting
It's exhausting
to
yeah.
even think about it. It's such a garbage property under Disney.
Yeah.
It just deserves to die. And I think that's what we're all waiting for at this point, is like,
Yeah.
make it even worse. You know, like, yes, I love the fact that people are talking about all the things that Disney does wrong with Star Wars. Keep talking about it until nobody watches it and it's radioactive and we don't have to ever have any more Star Wars and we don't ever have to hear about Star Wars again. This is a property that I used to love, that I used to buy all that stuff. And now I just want it to die.
Yeah. I don't blame you, man. I mean, and it just continues to happen with all the best things, with comics, and Warhammer's next. It really is, because Warhammer is having these same exact conversations about lore, about canon, why it matters, who changes it, why, what level canon is, blah, 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 all this stuff. So yeah, there's a lot of that discussion here in Warhammer as well. But
men get invested in lore. Men get invested in stories. That's why Campy is not invested. He's not a man, so he doesn't understand any of that.
But Aaron, look at that cut. He's got that cut behind. I don't know.
That cut back. He's one of the Sons of Anarchy. He's part of a fictional biker crew on a TV show, like all tough guys are.
Hell yeah!
If this guy ran into met a real biker, I come from a family of bikers, by the way. So
I believe that
on my dad's side. And I grew up around bikers. If this guy was ever confronted with a real biker from a real MC, he would piss himself. Instead of just letting his wife's boyfriend piss on him. I'm sorry, I keep pausing so that you keep running.
No, you're good. Hey, that was a good line. I like that.
This is what everybody's clutching their pearls about. The birth year of Coyote Mundi and his birth age literally came from a 1999 CD-ROM.
Oh, wow. A CD-ROM, guys. Because, that just, because of the CD-ROM, that immediately devalues its canonization.
Called Star Wars Episode 1 Insider's Guide, CD-ROM is the only place that Coyote Mundi's year of birth or age is ever mentioned. As such, it was never true canon. It was actually S-level canon, or at best, it was only ever C-level canon, which George Lucas himself established was totally ignorable. George Lucas himself said that level of canon is totally ignorable, and anything in television and the movies can override that.
So here's the thing. This is why it becomes a shill. This is why I feel like this is what shills tend to do, is because then anything can happen, right? And it's not just people aren't clutching their pearls because they changed his birthday or the day that he was born, and why is he in the show? It's that, what else are they going to do, and why did they do it in the first place? Because Disney Star Wars probably just wants to have hey, remember this guy? I don't think they actually want to have him for any significant reason, but I could be wrong. So it's like, what's his significance for being there? And then what are they going to do next? And it's the bigger picture. And that's why people are upset. It's not because, they changed his birthday or, they broke canon. It's, if they're willing to break canon for this atrocity of a show, what are they willing to do next? Because they just keep digging it further into the ground. So sorry, Aaron, you were going to say something?
Yeah. So here's the thing that like really amuses me. He's talking about people clutching their pearls and freaking out. Who's the one that seems to have an elevated level of aggravation and who seems to be like losing his shit?
Yeah.
It seems to be John Campion. If none of this matters, why are you so upset about this?
Yeah.
It either matters or it doesn't. And so the fact that it matters to the fans upsets you to the point that you have a rant like this and that you're losing your shit and you're acting like a complete asshole on video. Who is it that really has the problem here? Because when I heard that people were upset about Coyote Mundi and the birth thing, I just shrugged and said, what are you going to do? It's Disney Star Wars. It doesn't matter. None of this matters. Yeah. And that's the way people feel now. They're not clutching their pearls. They're pointing and they're laughing and they're saying, here's another thing that proves that Disney doesn't care about Star Wars and doesn't care about the lore and doesn't care about George, doesn't care about, all these contradictions that come up. It's, they don't give a shit. They're just churning stuff out and throwing it against the wall and hoping it sticks. That's what people are laughing about. People are over it. You're the one who's having a shit fit, John Campea. You're the one who looks like a complete jackass.
It seems that way. It really does.
The whole argument that people are crying about Coyote Mooney's age was never a canon thing. You got to get that through your heads. It was never true canon. It is.
It's like, then what is? Just nothing matters. I guess we would just say fuck all of it, right? Nothing matters. Who cares? It was never canon, guys. No, hey, we should never, even though that CD-ROM that came out was awesome and everyone loved it and they memorized it and all of us fans like took this to heart and they thought about how Coyote Mundi, like how his birthday would mean something bigger in the grand scheme of things. Why are you guys so why do you guys feel so passionate about that? It doesn't matter.
Don't get invested in anything, guys.
Yeah.
Don't get invested in anything.
Yeah.
Don't bother to dig into anything. Don't become a fan of anything. Don't, learn the lore of anything because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We'll just change it with the next thing. It doesn't make a big deal. Just consume. Just be a mindless consumer. Just eat the slop.
Tom Brevoort said the same thing about X-Men.
Yeah. Eat the slop and then be excited for the next thing. Well, do you know, Tom Brevoort, why people read Marvel Comics for 30, 40 years? Do you know why you have longtime fans like that? Because they're invested in the universe. And when you start saying it doesn't matter and you start breaking their investment, guess what happens? You start losing money. People start walking away. People aren't reading your comics anymore. And Disney, people aren't watching your Star Wars anymore. They're not watching your Star Wars horse shit. John Campea, people aren't watching your videos where you talk about Star Wars because nobody gives a shit about Star Wars anymore. That's why you've been on YouTube for this long and you only have 300 and some odd thousand subs and lose them every time you open your stupid pie hole.
And I guarantee a lot of those subs probably came from Robert My Burnett because people liked him on the show. And then it was like, oh, well, he's gone now. So.
And they just haven't gone back and, it's still on their YouTube. They don't watch it anymore, but they've never unsubscribed. Yeah.
I remember they kicked Robert My Burnett off. They kicked him off the show after something he had said or whatever. Yeah.
Wow.
They disavowed him. And,
of course they did.
Yes,
How dare that?
John Campea is a little candy bitch. And I just got introduced to this guy. And I'm already like, this is like.
Well, him and Christian Harloff are two of the worst. Yeah. I would say Harloff is probably worse.
But this is the classic. This is one of the telltale signs of a shill, of a YouTube shill, is when you get someone who is like, nothing matters, nothing is canon, it doesn't matter. Why did you care in the first place? Why do you even care, chud? Why are you crying about it online? It doesn't even matter, right? It's just a bunch of fucking space lesbian wizards like whittling their lightsabers around. Whoa. And it's like the fans, the hardcore fans who love canon and who love lore, those are the ones who have given you a platform, have given these shills a platform because they've made Star Wars what it is today. If it weren't for those basement-dwelling, clutching their pearls, crying and whining fans, whatever John Campea calls them, Star Wars would not be where it is today. So that is what perplexes me about all of this, is that these shills will absolutely take a massive dump on these fans that made the actual thing great in the first place, all because of access. They will sacrifice what the fans have done for years, for decades, all for the accolades and the access, which is the saddest, most depraved, degenerate thing I could think of as a fan. So
how much more of this?
I think there's only like a little bit more because he talks about
haven't we gotten the point?
I mean, that's true. That's true. We can move on. You're right. We can move on.
I can't do anymore, Max. I can't talk about Star Wars anymore. I can't watch anymore at John Campea.
That's
How have
fair.
you guys known about him for years and not become supervillains and just burn society to the ground?
Because he's so laughable. I laugh there's and you also drink McDizzy drinks. So.
Yeah.
Look, go ahead.
That's what I thought, you little bitch. Look, I was just gonna say I've been quiet for the past. Whoa. Big dick talking. I was just gonna say I've been quiet for the past 20 minutes because I'm not gay, and all I've watched of Star Wars is the original trilogy. All right, thanks. Carry on.
Damn, McDizzy just dropping the D. Not the Disney, but yeah. Aaron, I hate to do this to you. This is another Star Wars podcast. But look at their set. Look at their set. It's so good, right? I mean, it can't miss. Like these guys, they have to talk good about Star Wars, right? Or else their set, their Disney corporate TM set would go to waste. So
this is the nerd crew right here. This is the real life nerd. Everything. I can already tell that this is going to be everything that Red Letter Media mocks with the nerd crew.
Oh man. So I will play a little bit of this. This is a little bit less than the John Campia videos, but that was our first entry into the Shill Showdown this evening is John Campia. Then we have these two gentlemen from Star Wars Wave Squadron. I was just introduced to this video the other day, but it's quite something. So we'll play a little bit of it.
For the acolyte to see. Yeah. So, but then you have arguments that, like, I purposely, a lot of people will ask, like, how do you still like stuff? You like everything. Why do you like that? Because I don't engage with the feedback on the internet. Like, I generally don't. I hang out with you, with my friends. We have like that in-person experience, and then I usually don't engage with it other than just like rewatching it on my own. Every once in a while, I'll be like, well, what's some other reactors? What did they say? That type of thing. But the acolyte, like the fan response has just been so like vile and full of contempt,
Wow. Vile. Yeah. All
How
right.
dare they not like a thing?
Yeah. How dare. Hey, but Aaron, he said, he was like, I don't engage with this discourse. No. I'm better than that. I don't engage with the vile vitriolic.
I just stick with my little echo chamber where we just like everything. We just like everything.
Yeah. We
don't look at anything critically. We just like sit back and clap like trained seals when we see lightsabers.
The fact that he actually admitted at the beginning of the show that he was like, people keep telling me, guy, he's like, why do you like everything? How can you like everything? That's not a good thing. Like, you need to be critical of things. If you like everything, then where is your scale of anything that may be? It's if you're just like, that was good, that was good, that was good. I don't know.
Why do you give companies your money for nothing, for no effort, for garbage? Expect better. Have some goddamn self-esteem. Have some pride in yourself. Stop just being a pay pig to these corporations.
That's the thing. They have zero standards. Their standards for Star Wars is lightsaber go burr. And as long as it meets that qualification, I love it. And it's like, you guys, you can have higher standards, not only for yourself, but for the fan, like I almost said product, but for the art that you are engaging with. It's okay to have a higher standard. In fact, I would say it's necessary to have a high standard for what these artists can produce.
These guys both immediately strike me as guys that are at Star Wars Celebration every year, and when they show any clip of anything, they weep like as if like their child has just been born.
Yeah, they weep harder than Kevin Smith. Yeah.
Yep.
Which I can understand if you're a person that I just haven't liked Disney stuff for a long time. Now it's come to a head. I get that, but like some of the things that are being brought up as of like objective facts, like this thing breaks canon, like it doesn't. no, it doesn't. I don't know how to like kindly say that without being like insulting.
Sure.
Okay.
You can just say it. Like, have you ever thought about just like engaging in discourse and just being like, well, it doesn't break canon or it does break canon or whatever it may be. You don't have to be a jerk. You can just say, hey, I watched the episode as well, but actually I noticed that this thing does or doesn't break canon. So, but I don't think he understands how to converse well with
other people. No. I say insult me because I want to make you cry, but that's fine.
Okay. It feels like you're just looking for problems. Like, I personally don't go into art looking for problems. I go into art to have an experience.
Sure. You don't look at a painting and be like, I think they use the wrong brush here.
Yeah.
I
like,
purposely don't acknowledge that my wife is cheating on me with a real man.
I don't see a wedding ring. This guy has no wife.
I was about to say, I don't
She
know
left
if he's
Other homestead's got a wedding ring.
I don't feel.
No,
like
his wife's boyfriend has the ring today. So
they have to just slip it off, and you know, here's what in the hell happened to men?
Disney Star Wars happened to men. all women.
It had to happen. It had to happen before that. Like, just nobody has any little bit of testosterone or self-respect anymore. Like, everybody's just like, this is all these guys that are like shilling for Disney Star Wars and talking about how I don't go into art with a critical eye. I don't go in with any sort of discernment. I just go in to have an experience. I just sit there and I just open my eyes and I let the visuals go into my eyes.
Wow.
And I just go, oh my gosh, I'm seeing things happen on a screen. I'm so excited. My life is so exciting.
I have experienced the experience of what they wanted me to clap at. So it's good art. Yes.
I wish I was a Disney Jedi instead of in my dead-end job.
I mean, it's okay to be critical of art. And yes, art can be objective. Why do you think that there are art classes? Why people go to art school? There are fundamental
art critics.
things.
There are art critics,
right? And but no, all art is subjective, guys. None of it matters. Everything is just an experience. It's an experience.
Have some standards in your life. My God.
no, Aaron. I want an experience.
Jacob Ironside
like,
says
don't bring
it
your
matters if the art is painted with dog poop.
The smell really resonates of a darker
French
time
bulldog
in the
nature.
period.
Yeah.
Yes, of
Drew, are
course.
we suckers, Drew? Drew, are you and I suckers because we both are writers, and we both continually try to improve our craft and try to tell a better story and try to make our dialogue better and try to make our characters more relatable and more human and more, three-dimensional. Are we the idiots? Should we just be churning out garbage and take it? Like I would have no problem taking this sucker's money. He deserves to lose every dollar he has. It is morally wrong to allow this sucker to keep his money. But I can't do it. You know why I can't do it? Because I believe in something better. I believe in aspiring to a higher level of art, a higher level of entertainment. Like, I'm not doing the most highbrow comic book in the world, but I'm trying to make a funny, entertaining comic book that has a little bit of stuff that makes you think.
Yeah. At least you have standards for yourself.
Yeah.
You take pride in your work, Aaron, and that is more than a lot of other artists and creators can say right now. So there you go.
Yeah,
Alex says the standards are racist, transphobic, and sexist.
That's true.
Yeah, it's like Aaron said, like I could absolutely, follow the Jay-Z approach where it's dumbed down for my audience, double my dollars, but I can't do that shit. It's not going to happen. Aaron said, I have standards, and I want to continually get better with my storytelling, and I will never, ever, ever fall down this trap. I couldn't do it. I would.
Why don't you just
my conscience.
If this is the sort of stuff that you guys are happy with, then why would you guys even complain? Why would these guys even complain about these are the type that are also complaining about AI, and and rightfully so. But it's like you guys consume things that like AI will actually write you something better than what you're consuming.
Yep. It will.
I guarantee you, if you put the parameters of the Acolyte into ChatGPT, you'd get a better story than the Acolyte.
It would actually give you something, at least better written dialogue. So, but yeah, these guys actually will get into AI at some point here. They'll talk about that.
Weapons with you into the Cave of Evil. That's a bad idea. People went in to this show with their blaster belts clipped in, being like, "I'm gonna go see what's wrong with this show," And it's not a lot. Like as a viewer, like you're required to bring your suspension of belief at least to say like.
So I don't know if that was a slip of the
Disbelief.
tongue. Yeah, but then when he said you're meant to bring your suspension of belief, and I was like, well, with Disney Star Wars, I guess you do have to bring your suspension.
Yeah,
of
you
belief.
absolutely do. I don't think it was a slip of the tongue. I think it was a Freudian slip, if anything.
Yeah, I think he actually meant that.
You have to take your brain out and just put it in a jar.
Yeah, when you don't think about it, it's actually quite good. It's like, okay, all right.
It's like going into a wrestling show and being like, "Hey, I think it's all fake." I was like, "No, you idiot! It's a wrestling show.
Yeah.
Give yourself into it. It's a space fantasy show with wizards."
Yeah.
You know,
the more you lean into it,
He
you're
said it. He said the thing, guys. It's a space fantasy show about effing wizards.
So therefore,
And-
it has no. It should have no standards. You should have no standards.
Therefore,
of review.
it means nothing. You shouldn't care. You shouldn't have any standards for it. It should, whether it's bad, whether it's good or bad, just clap. And yeah, I mean, yeah.
Let
Just
me give you a
enjoy it.
wrestling comparison right now, since he brought wrestling into it.
Ooh, yeah, please do.
There are two big wrestling companies right now. There's actually more than two, but the two biggest ones right now that people talk about. One is WWE, and one is AEW. There was a point where WWE storytelling was being handled by Vince McMahon, and it was garbage. It was hot garbage. And AEW came out, and they didn't have the best stories, but they had good wrestling, and people started to gravitate towards AEW. Then Vince McMahon had to retire for all of his things that we've talked about, all of the allegations against him. He had to leave.
Yeah, that's right.
Big show
And creative
dildo, baby.
control- Yep, and creative control shifted to Triple H. Triple H began bringing back long-form storytelling. They've been doing a story right now called The Bloodline, which started out with Roman Reigns and is now shifted over to Solo Sikoa, but Roman will be coming back into it soon. That story has carried them to sell out crowds,
Wow.
to to a ratings bonanza, to premium live events that people are excited to watch. Meanwhile, AEW doesn't really have any stories, and they do a lot of goofy shit in their wrestling that breaks your suspension of disbelief. You no longer can suspend your disbelief to believe that these are two guys fighting. Now it's just an acrobatics show. Their ratings are plummeting. WWE's are going up. What's
Yeah.
the difference between the two? Good, solid storytelling and characters that people can get invested in.
Yeah.
That's
And,
also the difference between regular Star Wars and Disney Star Wars. Disney Star Wars is the current AEW
Yeah.
of space fantasy with wizards.
And what's crazy is that it is that simple. I mean, like it really. Chris Stuckman did a video a while ago about why movies are failing and why theaters are failing and how theaters are going to change within the next decade and what the movie industry and the entertainment industry is going to look like. And he had like all these thoughts, and it's just stream of consciousness, like AI and the strikes and this and technology and that and blah blah. And all I just wanted to say is just tell better stories. Just tell good stories. Just have good characters, write good stories, and you will see an exponential growth of people coming back to the theaters, or at least watching the movies.
Mhm.
And it's really that simple. And Hollywood cannot wrap their head around it. Neither can the shills. The shills don't understand it either. They're like, what could be happening? I don't understand what's wrong. And it's like, dude, it's really as simple as you laid it out. Just tell better stories.
Well, yeah, they don't get it because soy boy Redbeard here is too busy choking on Kathleen Kennedy's dick to pay attention. It's like I can't watch it because there's tears in my. Good job, Kathleen Kennedy.
Wow, McDizzy's in full force tonight. Gosh dang.
I'm about to need another beer, guys.
I thought I was skirting the line there. McDizzy just
No.
ran past me. Whee!
Yeah. He was like,
I'm not
"You're
drunk
here,
enough for the
Aaron."
Wii yet. Just give it some time.
No, once you get these guys, McDizzy's bound to come out when we're talking about shills. It's only necessary, or it's only
Meant to just kind of have fun, not get super angry, and then go whine about it on the internet. But
you're meant to just have fun instead of go whine about it on the internet. Yeah, no, I'm sure you guys aren't whining about us having fun because we're having
What
fun.
I find fun is well-constructed stories that entertain me. That's what I find fun. I don't find just a bunch of contradictory nonsense thrown up on the screen, and pretty pictures. Oh, they had a lightsaber. He Vadered. He Vadered.
Lightsabers. He Vadered.
What this dipshit doesn't realize, or has forgotten because he's too stupid, is that film criticism has been at the threshold of the internet since its inception. Pretty much sharing pornography and bitching about films. Those have been the two things talked about the most on the internet since its inception. And that is not going to stop anytime soon.
Never. Fans and
Because
nerds
film
will
is
always
important.
talk about this, though. Yeah.
It's important. It matters. Cinema matters, but not to these guys.
They like the idea of Star Wars cinema. They don't actually like the thing that it means, what it actually means, and the culture behind it, and the storytelling and the art. They just like bright lightsabers, and it's popular, so it's cool. And whoa, the Jedi, But like you said, it's the pew-pews. That like I don't think they. It kind of comes back to like what Campy was saying about there are people who fundamentally don't understand what Star Wars is. And I think that's projection. I think if you like Star Wars because of just, I want fun images that I can just love everything for, I don't
Max,
think
I just realized
love that
something.
thing.
What these guys are doing, this would be the equivalent to me arguing about Lord of the Rings, when in fact, I know nothing about Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. That would be pretty funny to watch, though.
I couldn't care less about the lore.
No, not at all.
If that's how it makes you feel, I have to confront the way that criticism makes me feel, but I'm trying to like make my peace with it, because last night looking through some stuff, which is the first time I've looked through like some Star Wars like internet stuff in a long.
Uh-oh.
Even your connection couldn't take it, Max. It's
Oh,
like,
no.
I can't do anymore.
My computer's like, I can't do this, Max. Please end my suffering.
Dragon.
God, we haven't even heard this guy talk yet.
Just watch the ones you like. But that doesn't mean the people watching
This guy is pretty tame. He doesn't really say anything of note.
House of Dragon need to be ridiculed or told how wrong they are.
Yeah, but there's this, I don't know, trying to choose my words correctly. There's this
what is this rebellion shirt?
kind of aggressive.
It's a gay pride rebellion shirt. Fucking faggots.
Oh, again. That's our McDizzy. Because we rebel against, we're the rebellion. And it's like, yeah, no, you corporate shills that will consume anything from Disney TM. You guys are definitely the rebellion.
I guarantee you, if you ask these guys, like, hey, what do you think of filmmakers like Tarantino or Scorsese? I guarantee you they would like start to drool all over them. And then you would say to them, what does Scorsese and Tarantino, what do you think they think of current Star Wars? We know what Scorsese thinks about Marvel.
Yeah.
What do you think about their opinion? He's a great filmmaker. You just said these guys are the titans of cinema. If standards don't matter, how are they so good?
Right.
And why do they look down upon the same things that we're talking about that you guys can't wait to jerk off all over?
They'd just be like, well, that's just their opinion, man.
Okay, Lebowski. You know what?
Aggressive
Lebowski's a good reference, because I don't like these guys' jerk off names. I don't like their jerk off faces, and I don't like them because they're jerk offs.
Amen.
A certain type of fan will have over Star Wars, and they'll come up and they'll tell you, hey, kind of aggressive ownership.
So he says there's a certain aggressive ownership that a fan has. I want to play that one more time.
Choose my words correctly. There's this kind of aggressive ownership a certain type of fan will have over Star Wars, and they'll come up and they'll tell you, hey, you having a good time? Well, you shouldn't, and here's why. And then they give all these reasons, and if I don't agree with those reasons, they go, shill,
I mean, if we are not having a good time, the shills, quote unquote, are telling us, hey, why don't you like this thing? You should just like this thing. Why aren't you not consuming the product? You should just consume the product. Just pretend that you like it. Why do you have to be so critical about it? And the other thing that he mentioned is the what did he say? The aggressive fan, or what was it?
It's like, shill, and they'll come up and trying to choose my words correctly. There's this kind of aggressive ownership.
Aggressive ownership. That's what it was. Gary actually brought this up. That's a great point. That aggressive ownership is the reason why Star Wars sold for 4 billion? I don't know if Aaron's still here, but I don't know if McDizzy or was it
roughly $4 billion.
million or 4 billion?
4 billion. It should, and like it was overvalued. It should have been 2 billion, but it was overvalued at 4.
Oh wow! So I truly think that the reason why Star Wars sold for that much for Disney or to Disney for 4 billion is because of fans having an aggressive ownership towards that thing. And isn't that like any other fan base that we've seen that has stood the test of time? Is they have an aggressive ownership of it, and these guys probably have an aggressive.
I would say financial investment into it as well as time. Investing all that time and money into something. Yeah, you're going to have a little bit of ownership over it. You feel like you do.
Yeah, 100%.
It's like it's not just with it. It's with sports teams too. Sports fans who invest all that time and money in the team, they're going to feel like it's my team, it's our team. And if something doesn't go right, they're going to complain about it. It's common. It happens. And I think this is all just it's foreign. It's unique just to Star Wars or whatever. It's like it's bullshit. It's total bullshit.
Yeah. And we could say this about them too. They have an aggressive ownership now that it's owned by Disney. That's an aggressive ownership of this new property or of this new Star Wars or whatever. So yeah, I find it hilarious that this guy is saying, "Oh well, the bad ones, the Nazis, they have the aggressive ownership of it."
A certain type of fan will have over Star Wars, and they'll come up and they'll tell you, "Hey, you having a good time? Well, you should." It gets so aggressive and so, and I'll use the word arrogant to be like, no, my opinion is so right. It is now jumped into the realm of objective, which fails as a start.
And then the other opinion is dismissed as, well, you're just a shill or whatever, and your opinion isn't valid at all.
I mean, and, I keep saying it, I don't know how much you agree or anybody else agrees, but like, we're very politically charged right now.
Wait a second. Why is my thing being so laggy? He's about to say, we're very politically charged right now. And then I was like, wait, aren't you guys talking about the Acolyte? What does politics have anything to do with the Acolyte? And then it's like, oh, you're talking about like how it's divisive and like all this stuff. It's just like, what are we doing? What do we do? And this is what Disney Star Wars has made its fans. It's made its fans inherently political and inherently divisive to say, oh, if you don't like this movie, you're a Nazi. And if you do like this movie, then you're a good guy. Then you're one of us.
Well, it's because Disney has started using minorities as a shield. Criticism. Yeah. They know that they're producing garbage. They know that they don't know how to produce anything good anymore. They've completely lost their way creatively. Everybody who was creative in the company has abandoned them and has gone off to other studios, and they're getting their asses kicked. So the only option that they have is to because they've become this slave to DEI and ESG, they're using these poor people as a shield.
100%.
I had to go pour myself a rum and Coke, Max. Thanks.
Oh, thanks. I'm sorry. I know this was going to be brutal, but I think it'll also be fun. But I'll play like just a few more seconds of this because, yeah, he gets into this whole like, we're in a very polarized. Oh, God, McDizzy is just downing these drinks.
We're very politically charged right now, especially in the United States of America, because we have an election coming up, and election years, like politics and the way that you talk about things go from like, we have a disagreement to, if you think differently, you're an immoral thug.
You guys did that.
Yeah, that's you. That's your side.
You guys are the ones calling people who didn't like a movie Nazis and racist and white supremacists and homophobes. You guys canceled a woman and got her fired. Like, you're the bad guys. It's asinine that this guy is saying we're in a very political state right now. It's like, dude, we're talking about the Acolyte. Why did you bring in politics into this? Wild. I won't put you through anymore, Aaron. I'm sorry.
You guys made Star Wars political, and then you're like, well, why is it so political?
Why is everything so politicized now? I don't get it. We're in an election year, and I would love to see Trump and Biden argue about the Acolyte. Wouldn't that be something?
And then all of a sudden, like, Biden trails off and like starts mentioning Battlestar Galactica characters and
those Cylons, man. Oh, they're
Cylon. No, I'm not kidding. I'm serious. I'm not joking. Cylons, man. I used to be a Cylon commander.
Under
I'm serious.
my watch as Cylon commander, we never had anyone die under my watch.
My son Bo died in the Battle of the Rohirrim.
Hunter flew a
There's-
Starbuck. Yeah.
Space lesbian cultists have been coming over the border in mass. Yeah, absolutely asinine.
I wouldn't have
but-
made those Star Wars movies. I wouldn't have made them. If I would have made them, they would have been tremendous.
Yes, everyone says so. Everyone says that they're tremendous. Oh man, you know who's tremendous? This is the star of our show. I mean, let's be real. This is the main event. This is who we've all been waiting for. Matt Ramos, aka Soups. Now,
This piece of
Soups
shit.
has absolute jerk off. Just this guy has-
$40 to hang out with Soups?
That's not even the worst of it.
Is that what he
So-
pays you? That's
Yeah,
not
I mean,
enough.
he should be paying us to go see him. Yes, but the Soups has played a very large role. Well, maybe not a large role, but he's appeared on this channel before. We have watched some of these videos before, and tonight we're going to expose a little bit of his past that he may not want talked about. His attitude towards not gaining social media traction, or his attitude towards not gaining a certain type of celebrity status within Hollywood. And we'll see what access does to a man, or lack of access does to a man. We'll look at that a little bit later and kind of expose the deep and dark underbelly of a man who, of a boy, of a young girl.
Because
who-
what is he, Max? He's got to be what,
20
25,
something.
24?
He's got
Yeah.
he's got to be early 20s, mid 20s. He can't be a day over 20, like you said, 25 maybe.
Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, no. So a little while ago, our good friend Josh, who is not here, so McDizzy, maybe you can speak for him. But Josh sent me this photo of the Soups Deadpool Wolverine experience, and he was like, "Max, are we going? When are we going to go? Are we going to do this thing? Come on." Thursday, July 25th at 5 p.m. in Los Angeles. Come on, we're going to go to the AMC Burbank. Let's go do it. There will be giveaways, photo ops, questions and answers, and more. And I'm like, oh my God, wait, Hugh Jackman's going to be there and Ryan Reynolds is going to be there? No. This is a Soups event where you get photos, giveaways, and Q&A with Soups, who is A, not in the movie, B, not affiliated with the movie, C, has no connection to the movie whatsoever. But hey guys, we're gonna do a Soups event. So and is charging $40 a ticket.
So the
And it's probably
Q&A is
not-
with him?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's not like, what are you gonna ask him? Like, Soups, how were you incorporated in the film? And he's like, oh, I'm not. Oh, okay.
Hey, what are we doing here? what are we doing here?
What are we paying $40 for?
When's the movie start?
Yeah. Come join Matt Suits Ramos and the most passionate fans for a special screening of Marvel's Deadpool and Wolverine. Sounds like my worst nightmare.
This isn't
There
Yeah,
will be
I-
a live
this is the opening
DJ.
week, right?
I
like
legitimately
DJ.
don't. Oh God, I legitimately don't know what makes me want to self-delete more. The fact that Soups is doing this, or the fact that people are gonna fucking go to it. Like,
Hey, Josh, there are a few tickets left, so you better, or McDizzy might want to get those tickets now, because there's some
How many
suckers who
tickets?
paid.
How many tickets are left?
I think this is probably just a generic thing that's here. Like, I don't actually know if this is real or not, but
I don't think it's real.
no. So with that being said, though, because our good friend Josh sent me this, my punishment now is that we have to watch Soups videos. Because my God, if they are not the most depraved, just awful, humiliating things I've ever seen. Yeah. So
So
this
the photo
is
ops are with him. I'm sorry. I'm still like,
I know
Max,
you're hung up on like.
I
Wait a
will pay, not even pay for you to go. I will pay you and pay for you to go.
Wow.
I don't want to give him money.
Yeah, why
I
would
mean-
we give him the $40?
If
I mean,
it
it
gives
would
us
be worth it for
content,
me to
it'd be
get up.
worth it.
It would be worth it for me to stand up and ask. So you told this girl F off, bitch? What was
Oh yeah. Yeah, like we could read the text messages. So you said this, like To Catch a Predator, and we could just do that to him. So please go do it, Max. Oh man, I would need some super chats to do that, but even that might not even get me to go because that's an entire night, man.
I would go if you went. I would go with you if
The
if,
both
like,
of us.
people paid for us to go. I would go, and I would CM Punk pipe bomb the shit out of that event.
Yeah, we would need like the little lapel mics with like the glasses with the video camera on it just to see what one of these things is like and like meet his oh god, we have to be like around his fans.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I would love it
man.
because it would just be that moment like for Rick and Morty where you'd be like, I don't care if you boo me. I've seen the jackass that you people cheer.
No, yeah, that's true. So this is his Deadpool and Wolverine trailer reaction. So let's see what he has to say here.
Oh Jesus!
Because his whole channel is just reactions. It's just reaction content.
Inspire? Inspire?
Yes.
Okay.
McDizzy, if he can have a channel that people watch, anybody can.
Yeah.
These
He's inspiring people, McDizzy.
Let's do it. Come on,
Max,
McDizzy.
guy-
Here we go. Let's do it. Let's down a drink.
Yeah.
These trailers, these reactions, these are the epitome of the nerd crew. When you watch these reactions, this is the nerd crew. What he's doing here, it is
100%.
It's ridiculous. Now, life is imitating art. It's insane.
It's pretty bad.
Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Soups channel. My name is Matt Ramos.
Hold on. Sorry, oh my god. Sorry, I had to. Oh, he's on normal speed. I thought I had him still on like.
God.
Oh my god. Oh, Jesus. I am already regretting this.
Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Soups channel. My name is Matt Ramos, and on this channel, I aim to entertain, inform, and inspire using the topic of discussion as voice, which is superheroes. You already.
I mean, I'm already tired.
You know, one of the things that I hate most in this world, besides now John Campia, is I hate affectation. I hate people who are fake. I hate personas. Just be real.
Yeah.
Just be real. What are you doing?
More people. Yeah.
I want to break a 2x4 over this guy's face in 2 seconds into this video.
And you know what's crazy too is like people might watch this, like fans of Soups might watch us, and they go, "Man, why do you guys hate on this guy? He just loves stuff. He just loves things, guys. Why do y'all hate on him so much? Y'all are just a bunch of haters that are just jealous of his success." And it's like I would so much rather just be myself on these nights with hanging with you guys, talking about comics or pop culture, entertainment media, than ever have to be this. I would never ever want to be this. And when people are always like, "Oh, he just loves stuff, guys. Why are you hating on?" I guarantee you he doesn't actually love a lot of this stuff, but that it's part of the access. It's just part of the shill persona. So,
you cannot look at this and tell me that this is genuine.
No.
You cannot.
No.
This is a
This is
put
nerd
on.
crew.
Yeah. This is a put on. This is just, it's for access, it's for views, it's a persona that he puts on.
Well, I mean, the energy is probably genuine because of the couple lines of cocaine that he did, but
I like Alex.
The
Oh,
excitement.
you have a personality, Max. Good for you.
Oh, good for you. I always think of Christian Bale. Good for you.
You're a nice guy.
No,
but you're an
fuck
asshole.
no. It's fucking distracting. Oh, good.
Good.
That song slaps. That's all.
I liked Christian Bale more after that. I
Yeah,
don't
me
know
too.
why.
Actually, me too. This is this Soups needs a wake up from Christian Bale. But let's see if we can at least get through a little bit more of this. But you're right. The tagline, what was it? Entertain, inspire, entertain,
Inform, inspire.
Jesus, my God, man. Okay, let's see if he can entertain.
Let's
He's
go,
failed.
Coke Binge, Tony Robbins. Let's go.
Yeah. He's already failed to entertain me. He has not informed me on anything, and I am inspired to put go into Minecraft, if you know what I mean. So.
Already know the deal. Y'all know why y'all clicked on this video. It's time to react to the first trailer for Deadpool 3. Guys, I can't believe I'm saying this. We have the trailer to Deadpool and Wolverine right here, 2 minutes and 25 seconds. Let's press play in 3, 2, 1.
Happy birthday to you.
Everyone.
He just sees people. He just sees people.
I
And he
saw
goes,
the thing that I recognized, and I clapped when I saw it.
Everyone's there.
The
Oh,
cast. The cast is
Yes,
in the
it's
movie.
everyone.
The announced
There's
cast is
people
there
in the trailer.
movie.
Max, after this video, you have to play one of the Nerd Crew reaction trailers after this, just to show you just how similar they are.
100%. Yeah. I'm going to save us the dread, and I'm gonna just get to the point here. Okay, I gotta recenter my.
Oh, he's holding his heart. Look at him.
He's like, oh yeah, there's tears in his eyes, man. He's like full on, yeah.
Kevin
Did we get
Smith,
the
full
moment
Kevin Smith.
where he
You
wipes
what?
like, the onion? He has the, he's got the stuff on his hands, so he like wipes into his eyes so that he can cry.
Yeah.
This fake ass crying.
Wait! Here we go.
Like he's riding a roller coaster. Wait, he like is crying. He like
I think,
is 100%.
guys, we need Melanie Mack in here right now.
I fucking can't.
to say the word.
Yeah, just
Like,
drop
Disney
the
can say the
appropriate.
word, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, bag it.
Don't just stand there, you ape. Give me a hand up. Nope, I'm actually okay. Thank you very much.
Let's go! Deadpool and Wolverine, baby! July 26th! Oh my god! Oh!
Where's the meteor? Just bring it. Bring it. It's just it couldn't get here soon enough.
What have you done to us, Max?
I'm so sorry.
I'm just gonna be honest.
I thought we
never-
were your friends. What sin
I-
could we have committed in a single lifetime?
I'm
to
so
deserve a
sorry.
fate Such as Soups.
I never thought meth was an option for my life, but that viewpoint is changing very quickly, very, very quickly.
It's becoming a reality. I understand.
Yeah. Oh, buddy.
This is his Spider-Man No Way Home trailer.
Oh,
reaction.
no, there's no.
No, this is full Nerd Crew. This is full on Nerd Crew here.
This is actually what I think the Nerd Crew based their parody off of. Notice what they actually say. It has no substance. It has no actual merit to what they are saying. They're not saying, wow, I wonder why this character might be here, or I wonder if this character might add to the story in this way. It's just character name. You'll see what I mean when I play it, though.
Boba Fett. There's Boba Fett.
I saw Boba Fett. We saw it, so we
Very cool. Very cool.
Very cool.
There's no intro needed into this video, guys. This is the moment. This is what we've been waiting for. The wait for Spider-Man No Way Home, and this trailer is finally over. Let's react. All right.
So
Point of personal privilege. Some
Oh, yes.
people are upset by clapping, so if you could just do this
Oh,
instead of clapping,
yes.
sir, in the Spider-Man shirt, if you could just do that.
Yeah.
Also,
Thank you.
I hated your intro when no intro was needed. Thanks.
Yes. Thank you. Also, point of personal privilege. I believe that Matt Ramos referred to us all as guys. Please refrain from using gendered language here.
Yeah, what a bigot. Thanks
Yeah,
a lot, you
no,
misogynist.
Yeah. I will say too. So this individual, correct me if I'm wrong, McDizzy, but the guy sitting next to Soups right now, that's the guy who had the issues with him later. Correct?
Oh, maybe,
I
possibly.
think this
don't
is
know.
the same guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
So they're buddy friend pals now, but we'll
Cream
see
Pants
the
reviews.
what?
Alex said, "What's the channel's name? Cream Pants Reviews."
Oh, Cream Pants. No, that's woke. That's Campia's channel. So
All right, guys, we're starting the trailer in 3, 2, 1.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, look at this. This is a good one. Some suggest that Parker's powers include the male spider's ability to hypnotize females.
Stop, come on.
Yes, my spider lord.
Can we just like stay up here all day? It is so crazy down there.
That's right, folks. Spider-Man is in fact Peter Parker.
His identity's revealed.
Dude, yo, that was Matt Murdock.
That's Murdoch. That's Murdoch.
Does any part of you feel relieved about
That wasn't Murdoch, by the way.
It wasn't Murdoch.
Now that everybody knows, you don't really have to hide or lie to people.
For the record, I never wanted to lie to you. But how do you tell someone that you're Spider-Man? Yo, that shot is insane. Now everybody knows.
Dude, his whole life is
This
messed
isn't
up.
about me. This is hurting a lot of people. I've just been thinking about how to fix all of this.
Let's go!
Don't distract.
what happened?
Why do I owe the pleasure?
I'm sorry to bother you, sir.
Please, we saved half the universe together. I think we're beyond you calling me sir.
Okay.
That feels weird, but I'll allow it.
Why did Mysterio reveal my identity?
He literally just went black suit.
So
Like, they're just saying things. Oh, Doctor
Yeah.
Strange. Doctor Strange. Thanks. Like we didn't see it on the screen. You imbeciles.
My entire life got screwed up. I was
33rd
wondering
Street,
if maybe you could
33rd
make it so
See
that
that?
people
33rd
that
Street?
did-
The spell.
Don't cast that
Wong,
spell.
Wong.
Okay, thanks.
Wong.
Stop.
He's got a parka on. You see that parka? It's an orange parka. Oh shit!
I love when they see Wong, dude. They both in unison. Wong. Absolutely ridiculous.
Don't cast that
Wong,
spell.
Wong.
It's too dangerous.
Fucking
Fine.
idiots.
I won't. The entire world
We'll get to the
is
good
about
part.
to forget the people.
Multiverse!
Oh, fuck.
What just happened? Oh my
We
goodness.
tampered with the stability of space-time. Multiverse is a concept about which we know frighteningly little.
Electro!
That's Electro.
Electro.
What?
The problem is you trying to live two different lives. The longer you do it, the more dangerous it becomes.
Oh my.
Goblin!
Be careful what you wish for, Parker.
Oh!
Melina!
Hello, Peter.
Let's go! Let's go!
Oh my gosh. Bro, he was fighting Ock and Goblin on the same bridge, bro.
What? Jesus Christ! Brad, what the hell did we just witness? Guys,
What the hell did we just witness?
What did we just witness exactly?
Max, I'm sorry, but if Aurora, Colorado happened again, I would understand why.
Oh my god.
How long do you think they held each other after this?
Well, actually, I think the second that the camera was off, they were like, "Okay, now go fuck off." Like, all right,
Yeah, all right,
whatever.
cool.
Yeah.
Dude. No, I think that worked.
Yeah, I feel like the guy in the black t-shirt had to go drink after this.
Yeah, he probably was like, he's like, "All right, man, that's like our fifth take of this. Like, oh, can we be done? Like, I'm really like, I'm tired."
Can we start doing reaction videos, guys? Because it would just be us like watching it going, and then afterwards go, "Oh, that Doc Ock thing was pretty cool."
Yeah,
Yeah, we'd
it's
go,
like, yeah, it could be okay.
or like during a funny part, we'd probably go, You know, just like, huh, yeah.
Or just maybe even like, you know, if it's a really funny part, go like, ha, and like elbow.
Yeah,
like,
like, yeah. Who enjoys this content?
What are the comments?
Well, this is from like 2 years ago, so this is before people started hating him.
Okay.
He's like,
people have started hating him. Oh, thank God.
Oh yeah. Oh, they rip him. Well, these so he did all this shill shit, and these videos leaked of him being like, "Oh, the MCU fucking sucks," blah 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 blah, and
Really?
amongst other things. So
who could have ever watched that video and guessed that maybe that reaction isn't genuine?
Oh my God.
I mean, probably the people that grew up with YouTubers and TikTokers as celebrities for them, that have no idea what the real fucking world looks like. That's the people that watch this. Whatever the fuck it is.
Cajun Corey just said, "I'm out. Night, everyone." Now I don't know if that's because Corey has to go to bed or he just reached his threshold of what he's able to handle. We're sorry, fair. Corey. Come back.
Sorry, Cajun, but thank you for being here. Yeah. So I wonder if it's just kids. Like I think it's just kids. Like I think it's just little kids who just like get immersed in seeing someone else be like exaggerated and exuberant, and they're probably like, oh my God, yeah, well, whatever. Like I can't imagine adults watching that and being like, wow, that was such great. I loved that video.
There's two reasons to not let your kids go on the internet. One is pedophiles, and the other is soups.
Agreed. Even more so to not let your kids on the internet is what we found out about soups behind the scenes. McDizzy, do you want to take this one a little bit? I know it's been a while since you sent the article, but essentially what we found is that Soups has leveraged his resources, his networks, his quote unquote agents in order for access. And whenever that doesn't happen, he throws a tantrum and a hissy fit and will cancel people based off of the amount of access that he is or isn't getting at any given time. But yeah, McDizzy, you may be able to speak to this a little bit more. Did you read this article?
Yeah. I mean, I was talking to Josh about it, and he let me know that when we first saw that he was doing this whole Deadpool Wolverine Soups event, and we were looking into it because we were like, oh, he's got Hugh Jackman or Ryan Reynolds. That's all right. I don't know how the fuck he managed that, but okay, power to him. And then we're checking it out, and we realized that's not the case. It's just Soups, and we're like, oh, what the fuck? And then. Then we start seeing all these comments about like, hey, when are you going to apologize for almost making your manager commit suicide? And I'm like, whoa, what?
Whoa.
And then there's other stuff like, hey, what about the time you groped up a 16-year-old girl? And I'm like, whoa,
what?
I'm suddenly
wild.
excited. And then I found this article from his manager that almost committed suicide because of him and a few other people, but mostly him. And it made my day so much better after reading this. But yeah. What? I mean, look, I'm just gonna be honest. But
hey, we appreciate your authenticity.
Yeah, I can't remember what these first couple of screen caps are of. Oh, these are the ones of him praising his manager, I believe.
Yes. So from what this is Brad Lambert. So I believe Brad was the guy in that video that we just watched. Now, Brad was Soups's manager, agent, whatever you want to call him. Brad has had a prestigious career within the entertainment industry and has a massive network of high like elite celebrities within. So he does have a lot of connections. And a lot of these individuals, and Matt Ramos, Soups, kind of started this, kind of gathered these people up who were being represented by Brad and was telling them, hey, we're going to take this guy out. We're going to ghost him, or we're going to try and, smear him. Because as Brad said, this is kind of an Ed Piskor thing, because Brad says in this article, let's see. I'm still baffled at how the rap allowed this to be released, which was a big hit piece on Brad, and how he was like wasn't managing correctly. At the core of this smear campaign is the weaponization and deliberate omission of a mutually beneficial collaboration. So I think what Soups was saying is that we're not getting the enough access, and it's Brad's fault that we aren't getting these things that we need. For example, in this text message, he saw that there was a Marvel What If panel, and there was an individual who was
BD.
on the panel. Yep, BD. And Matt's response, I'm going to kill someone, because he wanted that access. He wanted that spot on the Zoom meeting. He wanted that access. So then we go to the next one. F this bitch, for whoever it was at that point.
Why did they blur this?
Well, because it's the name. So go back. So that's the name of a Marvel executive, and he didn't get access to a red carpet.
Right.
So he's saying, "Fuck whatever that executive's name is, bitch," because he felt like he should have gotten red carpet access, and he didn't. And because of that, she's a bitch.
Once again,
and then here again, I'm gonna kill someone. I'm gonna effing kill someone.
Yep. For access, dude, for access. Then we go down to these ones. Here he is again. DB is effed.
That's Brandon Davis again. BD.
Yeah,
he just
can't.
The guy
who's
on the Zoom
Is that
call.
a threat? Like, now I'm gonna get him?
Well, for whatever reason, this Joker thinks that he is as good, if not better, than Brandon Davis, and I like him. So, Max, for context, BD is the one that we saw in Vegas. And I was like, hey, I'm going to run over and say hi real quick. And we were
nice.
getting food.
Okay, cool.
So BD works his ass off, and he works for comicbook.com, which is owned by a higher organization. Like they have legitimate media access that they're getting through. They're not just some YouTube shill.
They're owned by CBS.
I think so. I think that's right. But this guy seems to think he's like the equivalent of the head of comicbook.com. Essentially, they're like lead kind of reporting guy. But yeah, anyways.
Then this one says the only people that are going to be dancing is us when we take everything he's ever worked for, so he can go mooch off his girl.
Again, referring to BD.
Yes, yeah. But this one is referring to Perry Nemiroff. She says 1 down, 3 to go, I guess, for like an exclusive something. And he just messages Brad, she's done.
Perry, I think she was on Collider back in the day. I think she
was
one of the hosts.
So this guy is a narcissistic sociopath.
Correct. Oh yeah, he's definitely sociopathic. Well, because the images up top that we didn't look at is him being like, "Oh, Brad, you're my brother." Thanks, like all yeah.
Well, these were bro, I couldn't thank you enough for everything, brother. So grateful to have met you. Like, it's so self-masturbatory. The worst ones are when it comes down to these ones down here. No, not that one. Sorry. There's one where he's like jerking him off. Bro, on some real shit. I love you, bro. So grateful to have met you, and I know we're going to take over this whole shit. Fuck everyone else, Marcus, because if they're not joining us now, then F them. I hear the fans cheering our names, and I see the flashes of the paparazzi every effing... God, this is pathetic, man. I mean, this is just absolute degeneracy.
This is to his manager, yeah.
Yeah.
The one that he eventually said never did anything for him, like halted and prevented him from getting access, all that stuff.
Reading these texts, honestly, I'm sure Aaron would agree. It just reminds me of a certain publisher we worked for. Just a lot of the verbiage, a lot of times, but had put it a lot more spelling errors, and
a lot of well, when you're not using ChatGPT, it's tough too. Right?
I just love that this. I'm gonna hit bed early, bro. Have fun and be safe tonight. Is clearly him because it's sent at 8:46 p.m. Is clearly Brad being like, I can't fucking deal with your shit. Please go.
He's not actually going to bed. He's probably just like, dude, I can't talk to you anymore. Like, I'm done.
This guy just keeps texting me nonstop.
Yeah. I effing love you, big bro. Talk tomorrow. Appreciate you, bro. I'm so proud of you. I'm just trying to keep up with you, bro. It's like, oh God, I always wanted an older brother growing up, and I'm grateful I found one in you. This is only the effing beginning. We're taking over this whole shit. It's like, dude,
Who talks
kid,
like this?
like
Retards.
people who are fake as hell, and retards.
Gen Z and Gen Alpha, or whatever the hell
deal
they're
with Taya
called now.
Miller? I've heard that name before.
That's
She
someone else
was
that was
another-
represented by him.
She
What
was
did you do to
represented
her?
by him as well, and yet she had said, as well as Matt Ramos, who is Soups, they both had kind of said, along as well as this girl here, Chairman Lee, they all put out this slanderous article, basically saying that he never did anything for them. He used them. He took all their money while never giving them access. They caused him to almost commit, Minecraft and to almost self-delete. And so this was Brad's response to them, saying, these people are absolute sociopaths, and I did everything for them.
Yeah, because what publication did he mention at the beginning? Because they went and
Wired?
did interviews with
The Wrap.
Was it? Oh yeah. So they went to the Wrap and did this whole kind of like hit piece on him, and then the Wrap never even like partnered with him to get his side of the story on things. They just went and published it as fact of this is what's happening. And of course, in Hollywood, when this shit happens, you're gonna have everyone gang up and start coming on you because,
yeah.
Well, when there's blood in the water, then the sharks will come. That's very
right.
These are just jackass YouTubers. I don't understand where the celebrity is coming from, where they think they're automatically celebrities. I don't get it.
Yeah, but you got to understand that from a management standpoint, they're looking to who's going to be the next generation. And when you ask kids, when you ask teenagers right now, who is the biggest celebrity, they're naming YouTubers and TikTokers. They're not naming movie stars.
Yeah. I thought this was interesting. It says accusations that were initially brought up and proven to be lies were left out of the article completely. That is not investigative journalism. That is selective storytelling, which is exactly
there is no
what
investigative journalism anymore. There's only storytelling.
Absolutely not. Yeah. So he goes on to say, in August of last year, I had a sit-down chat with Matt Ramos, aka Soups, about what I perceived to be his erratic and concerning behavior. I was worried that if he didn't get control of his emotions and insecurities, they would ruin him. Tantrums when he didn't get his way, wasn't the host for a major press junket, didn't get approved for an interview with a top talent for a release, and wasn't invited to a premiere. All just fucking shill nonsense. I've blurred
You're
out.
not entitled to any of this. You have to earn this.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. High-level studio executive, which he was referring to, they are aware of this. He had a very aggressive mindset, which I attributed to him being motivated and determined, young, naive professional. I began to see an alarming pattern of him viciously speaking out about his competition, people who he publicly treated like friends, and yet privately would say things to me like, she's done, or I'm going to take everything they've worked for. In November,
it sounds like a certain publisher, Aaron. Sounds like very much like a certain publisher we know. How about
it absolutely does.
Yeah. In November, only a few months later, I had a similar conversation with him, offering what I believe to be a harsh but necessary dose of reality. Take away your social media, and what are you? The young TikToker did not respond well to my attempt to keep him grounded and prevent him from going deeper on a path of arrogance, entitlement, and ego, which unfortunately we often see with young influencers. Days after the conversation, now a year ago, Matt completely cut me out of his life with no warning and began systematically dismantling everything I had ever built in my career. After being notified by multiple brands and contracts of what was being said and done, my attorneys issued cease and desist letters to Matt Ramos and Taya Miller about a month later. So Matt Ramos is a scum, degenerate, shameful individual who is not only that, but a absolute sociopath that will do anything for access and celebrity status. It's pretty pathetic.
Yep. The other thing about that last little bit that you read from that article is how he talked about that he started reaching out to other companies. So he's reaching out to Marvel, he's reaching out to Warner Brothers, he's reaching out to all these other companies to be like, hey, my manager's doing A, B, and C, not getting work. I'd love to actually work with you guys. He's making up lies about me saying I did this or saying I'm saying that. They're not true. And it's like, now you have this company that's then thinking poorly of a manager, which is then going to stop working with that manager, which is then going to impact everyone else that works under that manager or with that manager. Yeah. It's shitty.
I think that, honestly, if I was I was an executive somewhere, and this has even happened in like just as an editor, when someone comes and badmouths someone out of the blue to me, I tell that person, well, this doesn't reflect poorly upon my relationship with them. It reflects poorly upon you. Yeah. Because who are you to think that you can come to me who you don't know and badmouth this person to me who I do know?
Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's like if someone were to come to me and be like, hey, your co-hosts, the guys that you work with, I've been hearing some things about them. And I'd be like, oh, really? You almost kind of have to laugh at it because you're like, okay, man, I know them better than anyone. But yeah, please tell me, about, because what's their, you have to start wondering what's their motive. Why would they be saying something like that? And especially if you know someone better than whoever this jabroni is. And plus, you guys have shown me time and time again, why we trust each other, why we have a good rapport, why we have a good friendship, a strong bond, all that stuff. So, but unfortunately or fortunately, I don't know. I can't do Grace, unfortunately. So I think we can
hold off. Here. We can hold off. We can hold
off on Grace.
This is pretty faded.
No. So
what's the deal with Yankee bean soup?
You know what I miss the most? Random facts on the bottom of Snap bottle caps.
I mean, those are pretty fun.
Cracker Jacks used to have prizes in them, and I mean real prizes, not just like temporary tattoos, but toys. Whatever happened to that?
The only thing I will say is like this woman, and granted, this is 938,000 subscribers. She's on her way to 1 million. Yes, she was here at the start, right? At the inception of YouTube. This is such a chaotic mess of just a video. Just the layout and the concept design of her videos is absolutely wild. It is so
ADHD to the extreme.
Yeah, they're just things, and even down here, the lettering is like a different font and a different color. And then it's also I don't know, it's just there's all this wild stuff. And then as the video goes on, you get more little things oh, beep, boop, pop, just little images that just pop up on the screen.
Did she build her page in GeoCities? What is going on?
I don't know what is happening. But it's quite something. Oh, wait, did she say what hold on, let me listen to this and then we'll call it a night.
Okay.
So there were about 40 of us in the basement of AMC Link. So I was very excited for my Super Nintendo World videos. I'd like to go there. It looks like a good time. So I'm like, this seems fun. Everybody's so excited for Super Nintendo World, for this movie, right? And who doesn't love a party? I'm like, I want to be in here too, everybody. Move over. So I was very excited for my press screening. I was like, oh boy. So there were about...
Oh boy. With the press, it's like,
oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh, Jeeker
40 of us in the basement of AMC Lincoln Square, and they gave us free snacks. Yummy. And it was very nice.
Oh no. That's what I was waiting for.
I've worked with Grace. This is not how she conducts herself in real life. This is a persona.
And they gave us snacks. Yummy. Because that's what these shills live for, man, is the access and the press pass so that they can get their snacks. Yummy. And that they can say that they were part of the party. It's just
we'll have to go through some Grace videos at some point. I will say this for Grace. Unlike Soups, unlike John Campea, her videos are actually entertaining. Not in the way that you would hope, but you can watch them and get great entertainment out of them.
I guess that's fair. Yeah, I guess we could say that. It's like watching a Neil Breen film. It's very entertaining.
Watching a Soups video just makes you want to run at the first living thing that you see and kill it with your bare hands.
Yes, it actually makes me want to be more masculine. I get angry and I want to go to the gym or something.
It just makes me want to take my license plate off my truck. That's
okay. Yeah, that tracks. Well, we made it, guys. I guess the last thing I'll say is, out of the 3 that we watched tonight, we won't include Grace because we didn't give her a good enough shot here, and plus I don't think she's in the running anyway. I think she's just a goofball. Soups, the 2 low T, podcasting Star Wars TM, nerd crew guys, and Campia. Who do we think is the biggest shill of the evening?
Soups.
Oh wow. Okay, so we got 2 Soups.
John
McKizzy
Campia is a prick.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Soups is an actual degenerate scumbag.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think that's the delineation, is that he will literally do anything and step on any necks to get that type of access, which makes in the context of who's the biggest shill, he wins. Who's the biggest prick? He may actually also win that too, but I don't know. Campia's up there, man.
Soups is a coffee house crime story waiting to happen. Like a guy who just loses it and ends up like hurting somebody because he's so obsessed with getting access. If you were a celebrity, I don't know, like you, I think that any celebrity would just tell their management, I don't want this guy anywhere near me. I don't want him on the red carpet. I don't want this guy is a lunatic and I don't want him anywhere near me.
Yeah. Yep. 100%. McDizzy, who you going with tonight? Biggest shill?
Oh, no, it's Soups. It's Soups 100%.
Okay. All right.
I mean, if we're going shill, like the other people are just soy boys or retards, But blatant shill. Man. When you got videos of yourself just candidly talking about how much you hate what's coming out from the MCU, and then you're continuously recording like, "Let's go,"
Let's go. Like, yeah. It's pretty embarrassing.
My feelings about Soup is please go. Just please go.
Let's go. Yes, please let us go. Yeah. Well, to end out the night, we have Dylan Lindsay for 4 months saying, "Great show. Going through the cringe together does make it easier." I agree. Oh, and you should have McDizzy on more. He's way more cool than Josh. I agree. I agree. I'm actually kind of thankful that McDizzy showed up. Josh can be a little cringe at times, so
sometimes.
Nah, it's all right. We love him. Well, thank you guys so much tonight. This was fun.
No,
I'm gonna go with
it wasn't fun, Max. Like when
we endured it for the chat.
Yeah, when you get throat punched or kicked in the balls the next time I see you, don't ask why. Just man up and take it.
You know what? I'll accept that from McDizzy, but Josh should have manned up and been here because he started all of this because he sent me that stupid Soups exclusive content. So he's the one who started this. So you can
look. I gotta admit, I'm the instigator because I'm the one that sent him some of the stuff. I was like, dude, you should fucking send this to Max first thing in the morning, ruin his fucking day because he's gonna wake up, grab coffee, watch this, and hate his life for that day.
This is actually worse than those videos that you made me watch of the guy being like, "God, okay, I want to wear your, I want to tear your flesh. I want to wear your flesh.
That's right.
Born into new worlds where your flesh is my key." Dale Keown, I could put out
Dale Keown,
now.
I have all your comics, Dale Keown, and your comics will become my flesh, and we will become one flesh together, Dale Keown. Oh my god. Yeah, that was terrifying. That was terrifying.
I don't think Drew was there for that, right? Wasn't Drew absent for that one?
No,
you were there. Oh, Drew.
And then he had his original music. Didn't we watch that?
That's a whole nother episode of Max's Man Cave, to be sure. But yeah, maybe we can do an expose on him and just how he came to be. Because he came into my life unknowingly. I did not ask for him to come into my life, and yet here he is. So
he slid into your DMs.
He did. So, well, yeah. Once again, guys, thank you so much. Just real quick, because I want to be respectful of everyone's time. Josh, McDizzy, what do you guys got coming up on the channel? Anything?
So Tuesday, Culture Pop's gonna happen. Saturday, we got episode 2 of Sipping with McDizzy. It's gonna be episode's gonna be That Shit Was Gay, and we're gonna highlight some gay shit from Gay Pride Month.
Nice. Okay, that'll be fun.
Not in
Looking
a
forward
positive
to it.
way. Yeah.
Ooh. More infisting gauntlets, I'm assuming.
No. I haven't seen any
Oh.
fisting, but there's plenty of stuff that we're just gonna rip to
Is it
shreds.
me or was Pride kind of subdued this year?
It was a little subdued. Some stuff came out here right in these last couple of days that was like, all right, fuck off.
Yeah, I saw like a bunch of nude guys showing off their junk in front of children and just in Seattle.
Yeah, in Toronto, yeah.
Ugh,
Classic.
Canada.
Well, I mean, if
Um,
you're gonna do That Shit Is Gay, I mean, you could just say Toronto. Good night, everybody.
That's true.
That's it. That's all for me.
Yeah.
No. I think honestly, the two things that came out of June were Hawk Tua Girl and the debate. I think those are the two biggest things that came out of June. So, Aaron, what can we expect from you anytime soon? I know you're still working on Doomface. Anything else we can catch you on Wes's channel, Thinking Critical?
You can expect me to hang myself because I've got so much damn work going on right now. It's like I've got like so much going on, and it's like
Yeah.
I can't like I'm writing something right now, not Kneel Before Doomface. I'm writing something else that has just been like the hardest thing that I've ever had to write in my career.
Yeah.
I cannot seem to get it right to where I like it. Much less hand it off. So just dealing with that. But if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, Aaron_Sparrow. You can follow me on Instagram. On both of those, I post updates for Kneel Before Doomface. If you haven't already, please go sign up. Get your friends to sign up for the mailing list at kneelbeforedoomface@gmail.com. We're working on the Shopify store right now. We're working on the Indiegogo page, the Kickstarter page. We're going to be launching a bunch of stuff over the course of the next month. So the updates are becoming more and more frequent. And come check it out.
Hell yeah, man. I can't wait. The book just keeps looking better and better. And I know that the other book that you're working on has been a challenge. And I admire your patience and your work ethic, man, to just keep pushing through that. I've been in scenarios like that, not with writing, but just in work, where you're just trying to push through and you're just like, I cannot seem to get this right. So like I said, I admire your tenacity to just continue to go forward, man. That's tough. But the good news is that once Kneel Before Doomface comes out, that is going to be the comic of 2025, man. Like I hope if it's not Unholy Nightmare, it's gonna be Doomface, and it's gonna be a wild ride. So I'm here for it. And speaking of Unholy Nightmare, Drew, any updates? We're thinking, well, actually, so you should have yours out by 2024. So maybe, so Unholy Nightmare will take the comic of 2024 and Doomface 2025, maybe.
Yes, I was talking to Aurelio earlier today because wheels are in motion with Unholy Nightmare in certain aspects, in particular later this year. So, in which case, I told Aurelio to, in layman's terms, to hurry the hell up to get this done. But it's been too long. It's like, really, come on, man, we're in the home stretch. We got 4 pages to go. Come on, wrap it up. Because as soon as he does, this could potentially lead to something huge later this fall. So, don't want to say what it is just yet.
Okay. Well, I guess the next place we can see y'all on is Josh's show, potentially on Tuesday, if you guys are available to go see that. So go check out Josh's show. This Tuesday. Sorry, I was thinking about July 4th, if that would interfere. But no, I think you're still going to have it Tuesday on Pop by Culture. And next weekend, either next weekend or the weekend after, we'll be having a birthday stream. So that'll be a lot of fun.
Ooh.
Yeah. Woo.
Looking forward to it. I don't think we're going to bring out the Silkies this year, but we will have some fun comic book conversations and some fun questions that we can ask. Like,
what's wrong? Do they not fit anymore? Is that why? Yeah,
my package is too big. It almost flopped out the last time I was dancing. So, but no, I think we'll have some like conversation. We'll have some questions that I'll ask. Like, I'll ask the panel.
Max, are you saying that we almost saw the real D Cannon?
No, you almost saw the real MV penis. There you go.
Oh,
But no, I think I'll ask like who wins in a fight, Batman or Captain America, and then the panel of all 10 of us will discuss and we'll see who wins, and we'll just ask questions all night and see how much fun we can have. So, because I expect some of those arguments to like get heated, which should be fun as well. So, all right.
down.
Well, thank you guys again for such a fun night. This was something, that's for sure. But I'm glad that we came to the consensus that Soups really is the biggest show of the evening. So,
And
Or
the
it's piece of
POS.
shit. Yeah.
Mhm.
yes, correct. Yep, that too. I mean, he took both titles tonight single-handedly. It's not even a contest at that point. So
When he saw that the prize was the biggest piece of shit, he was like, "Let's go!"
he was like, "I can do it, man. We're gonna take over. Paparazzi are
We're gonna
gonna
take this shit.
give me that
We're
award."
gonna take this shit. Was that what he
Yeah.
said? Take this shit. What a
I think
weird...
that's what he take over this shit or take this shit.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
Really odd.
This
I
guy
don't know.
should never be allowed to be anywhere near any shit. Just
No.
let's
Or,
just
or,
make that
chil-
clear.
or children.
Yeah,
No.
let's keep that out there. Let's just keep hammering on that. Make everybody know this guy should not be given access to anything.
Zero. Hopefully people will catch on because of streams like this. So thank you again to the chat. You guys are awesome. We will see you guys soon. Have a great rest of the weekend. Reject modernity and embrace your legacy. We'll see you guys on the next video. Take care.